Happy Monday, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. What a fun weekend it was up in Los Angeles. We are Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Listen, season's not over. Let's get our heads right as best we can on a Monday. I will explain what's going on in a moment after I introduce the program here. I'm Woodsy. That is Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. All things considered. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Benjamin, how are you, buddy?
Not as friendly as usual, and I object to your use of the word happy Monday morning because there's nothing really that happy about this Monday morning. That was a rough weekend all around.
No joy in your life, so to speak, today.
So you may be talking about. I'm wearing my SDFC hat. Everything was great.
Sanders Dreyer is truly the star of the city. So you may, if you're listening, it may sound a little different. If you're watching on the YouTube feed, it certainly looks a little different. And along with my family, we are in an underground bunker.
Gone again. You're gone again. Where are you? Bora Bora? A little week in Copenhagen? What's going on here?
We had to evacuate our home because the $1 billion Dodgers swept us and have a commanding 2-game lead in the West in late August. And they came for me with torches and pitchforks. So we had to evacuate. I'm in an underground bunker. Everyone's safe. We're okay. It's going to be okay. But we're gonna figure it out. We'll wait till things calm down and get out. No, I am gone again. And I am in Hideaway Lake, Texas, Lindale, Texas, as it were. And it's kind of a convoluted story, I guess, but not really when you break it down. My pops, as you guys know, tier one Gary, had a pretty major surgery, had prostate removal surgery for prostate cancer, and he has been a little bit down. He's been a little bit down. My mom's been a little overwhelmed. And he is just, he's not recovering as quickly as he thought he would. So I had the idea last week. I said, let me come out, and just help. And I think based on the success of the plan in Kauai, was able to broadcast and do every show. Honestly, like the crap son in me took over. I went, wait a minute, buddy. You can go to Philly to party with your friends. You can go to Manchester to party with Oasis. You can go to Kauai to party with your family for 10 days. You can't go see your parents. You can't go help out. And I texted my mom on Tuesday of last week and said, I'm coming out. Let's surprise him. And boy, was he surprised yesterday. So I traveled most of the day yesterday. I missed the game almost entirely. So it didn't sound like I missed a whole lot. But I got here, and I'm here. I'm going to be here all week hanging out, just trying to help out and hang out with my dad, man. Just to be clear, I didn't come out to say my goodbyes or anything. He's okay. He's moving around. He did show me his scar and his stitches this morning. And oh my God, you guys, it looked like
that sounds like an uncomfortable moment. You said prostate removal.
Yeah.
Where's the scar?
So it goes all the way up here.
Oh, okay.
It goes all the way up.
Wow.
And it looks like, dude, he got hit in the stomach with a cannonball. It's yellow and blue, and he's in a lot of pain. They had, there's some complications and things like that. So, man, I just thought, what am I doing? I need to go out there and be with my family, try to help out where I can. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm here. And, once I got out here, I started thinking about it. I went, I don't know, man. If you're recovering from surgery, do you want some a-hole loudmouth in your office taking over, setting up that he's probably just I just really wanted to relax in peace and quiet. And now I'm here, the tornado comes in. And so, yeah, man, I'm here just kind of helping out, doing whatever I can.
Well, you're a good son, and I'm glad you went out. And best wishes to Gary, of course, from all of us. Send our love. We appreciate it. Unfortunately, I also missed a lot of the game yesterday as we had a medical health scare in our family. I spent most of the day at the hospital with my son. He's doing better this morning, and I'm going to probably be leaving the show about 8:30 today to go speak with his doctors. If everything goes well, hoping he gets out of the hospital today, but he got extremely sick yesterday. I won't go into a ton of details just for his privacy, but I was, spent about 12, 13 hours in the hospital yesterday, unfortunately, and hopefully everything's going to be all right today. So apparently we both missed a lot of the game yesterday that obviously turned pretty disappointing, but we did see the first two games of the series, and we're together with all the tier 1s on Saturday for the worst of the three. And I want to thank everybody who came out to Moneyline Sports HQ in Encinitas. What a great turnout. It was so unbelievable to see how many tier 1s came up to our neck of the woods to watch that game on Saturday night. What a great spot it was. And I mean, Woods, I thought it was just incredible to see the turnout that we had.
I was blown away. I really was. And I wanted to apologize for leaving right when it ended because I had a 4 a.m. Uber, man. And, I wanted to be able to kiss my kids and put them down before I'm not going to see them for a week. I'm not coming back till Friday night. And so, I at 8 o'clock on the nose, man, I just split to the car because, I had to pack and get out of there. But the people that were there, you guys were outstanding, incredible. So nice meeting some of you for the first time. So nice seeing some of the regulars that are usually out there. But it was really cool. Obviously, you wanted a better result from the baseball team this weekend. And I don't want to do this thing where it's like, it doesn't matter, bigger perspective, because it is important to all of us. It's why people tune into this show. It's why we do this show. I mean, I genuinely care a lot about the direction of the team. But I was eerily kind of calm this weekend, just knowing what else is going on, but also knowing it's not over. It's not over. They are a good baseball team.
Shot.
Not by a long shot.
I was kind of stunned to see how much I knew there'd be negativity, but there was so much finality to it. That's what I disagree.
Yes.
The negativity was absolutely, we all felt negative. It was an awful weekend and really, really disappointing, but there was so much finality to it. Like, it was good while it lasted. We tried. There's 40 games left, close to 40 games left. Padres are 2 games out. It's not even close to over. It was one bad weekend in a long season. I warned you that there was going to be some bad weekends, some bad games still to come this season. You hope it wasn't against the Dodgers, but they got a chance to bounce right back this week and have the Dodgers come to their place. I mean,
it sucked, but like if you took the 30,000 foot view, like the way I looked at it was Friday night. Like, once Michael King was out, it was kind of like, just take your shot, see what happens. And you lost a 1-run game to a really good team on the road. I was okay with that one, especially given the fact that Wandy Peralta started it. Yesterday,
Wandy Peralta, Ramon Laureano, the stars of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yesterday sucked. Seeing Yu Darvish uncharacteristically giving up 4 runs in the first inning. That sucked. Guess what? They chipped back and even tied the game up. And again, came out on the losing end of a 1-run game. That's going to happen on the road against a really good team. Saturday, nothing positive to say. No. Absolutely sucked.
And listen, KG says it doesn't matter when you crap the bed versus your divisional rival every single time. I mean, you got to remember, man, we handled those guys in the regular season last year really well, and they got us in the playoffs because we stopped hitting. And I think that
and remember, 2 years ago, the Dodgers dominated the regular season 14-5. I mean, absolutely dominated. And the Padres won in the playoffs. So, keep that in mind.
Yeah, it happens. But it's, I was just bummed too. I hated it. I did feel like there was a lot of, especially Saturday. Saturday was just a real bummer. Just a roll over. Here, you want it? Take it. It's yours. I mean, handing those guys a team like that. And here's the funny part. And, I was telling Paulie this before the show. Dodger fans going nuts in my mentions, DMs. And you guys got to remember, I am the one that said, if any team can turn on a dime, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. Like, that is a team that's very good. I've told you guys for months, like they're a good team. They're playing poorly. That team can turn on a dime. And they did. They absolutely did. We were 100% the get right gang against them. And I don't know, man. Manny Machado had a really rough month. He's got 1 RBI in the month of August. Like, that's unacceptable. That can't happen. That just can't happen. He's got to be better. Those guys have to perform. And, luckily, still got more chances to do so. So, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But I don't know, man. Like it definitely sucked. You wanted to scratch out at least one win on the road. You wanted to get at least one win on the road. Yesterday looked to be the case. But, yeah, man, it's a real bummer. But, yeah, the finality of it all was kind of bothered me, too. A lot of people kind of acted brand new yesterday. And there's still a ton of opportunity to go out and continue to roll. Now, you've put yourself behind the 8 ball because the Dodgers got the Rockies, and you got the Giants, and, you can't expect them to slip. You got to kind of feel with the Dodgers right now, like they're playing really, really well. Their stars are starring. They're hitting home runs. We didn't. They punish mistakes. We don't, at least in that case. So the freaking starting pitching, was kind of a tough scene, but it is what it is, man. It sucked. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It sucked.
Yeah, I mean,
losing to those guys sucked.
I think the goal this week is to match whatever the Dodgers do against the Rockies. If they sweep, you got to sweep to keep within 2. And then if you can find a way to win the series, then you had a good week this week. If you let the Dodgers gain a couple of games and you lose that series, you'll find yourself 5 down, and then you probably are out of reach in the division, and you're looking at the wild card. Which, by the way, still, we all would have been happy with the wild card at the start of the season. But now you felt like it's so close. Find a way to go and take that division title. They let you in it this long. Don't let them off the hook now, and that's why this weekend was so frustrating.
Yeah, it sucked. There's no two-way. There's no sugarcoating it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we out-hit them or out-slugged them or whatever. There's no spin on it. For whatever reason, when this team plays the Dodgers, obviously it feels like it's bigger because it is. You had a lead going into this, and now you don't, and that's a bummer. Anytime you hand it over, and you did, you handed it over. Poor sloppy play, lack of clutch hitting, poor starting pitching. They rose to the occasion, and we kind of wilted to it. So. There's a lot, obviously, you could break down. There were some things that I looked at and said, yeah, that's the right strategy, just the right process. It just didn't work out. And that's okay. I think you stick to the process of being aggressive when you get a lead. Problem was, man, we were scratching and clawing for, a run here or there, especially like yesterday. I watched the condensed game and it was just terrible. Like he just could not come up with the big one. Yesterday.
It was like the second time in what felt like a week, maybe a 2-week span, where I just remember like this feeling of watching the whole game start to finish, and the Padres scratch and claw and are trying so hard to climb back into it. And then they finally do. And then in one swing of the bat, it's gone from the other team. And you're just like, yeah, home runs are pretty useful, it turns out.
Yeah, just to have that bullet in the gun when you need it. Certainly. And we don't really have it, man. But yeah, the lineup is the biggest thing. And, when you win 14-17, I can totally understand going, I'm not really going to mess with a good thing. Okay, no problem. Now you got swept. Time to move it around. If you're trying to win a World Series, I think you can't really worry about feelings. And all we hear from these guys all the time is, these guys are all committed, willing, and want to win a World Series. So that means that guys need to do what they're asked to do. And I think a lineup shift could make this team potentially better. But what happens if you do? You change it up and it doesn't work. It's like, oh my God. So you don't know. There's no real answer other than you got to keep trying until you find the formula. And I think they thought they found the formula there for a while.
Well, again, yeah, I mean, they've still won 14 of their last 20 games. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball if you take a slightly wider view of this month. It was a bad weekend, but if you let this weekend then define who you are the rest of the season, that's the true worry about this weekend. It's not that you lost 3 games. You can make those games up. You can play good baseball like you were playing before. You caught up 10 games in a matter of a few weeks because you were playing so well. If you go right back to that, then this is a blip and it's forgotten. If you let this define you going forward and you become that team that everyone is saying that you are, the team that can't get over the hump, the team that can't beat the Dodgers, that wilts in big situations, then this weekend truly will be the defining moment of the 2025 Padres season. But you don't have to let it be. It could just be just one bad weekend out of many. The Dodgers, did them getting swept by the Angels twice and by the Brewers twice and going 0-12 against those teams, is that the defining moment of their season, or are they going to let this be the defining moment of their season?
Their fans thought it was. I mean, to be completely fair, I see a lot. I follow a lot of Dodger fans. They follow me. They thought that was it. That was it. This is it. For as cocky as they are today, and, they're waving it around this morning, as they should, they thought that sweep by the Angels was like the total death knell. And what did we do? We let them off the hook. We absolutely let them off the hook.
Fans thought that, but I don't think their players ever thought that. Players think differently than the fans do.
They do. But I'm telling you, when you come in and you do goofy stuff and you do predictable stuff and you don't go for big innings, when you have a team on the ropes, when you're bunting constantly, when you're making weird bullpen decisions that you haven't made, it gets away from you. And it totally did. It totally did this weekend. So
the caught stealings on Saturday night, that was the one where I'm like, Paulie, I don't know that I've ever seen them do that before. I'm like, why the hell are we doing it now?
We should have won that game. And we had Blake Snell, completely on the ropes, and we gave it away. We gave it away. So yeah, man, it sucks. It does. You hate losing. It feels like it's bigger than one game when you lose a game to those guys, but it's not. At the end of the day, it's just one game. Well, 3 games. It's one game 3 times is what it is. But yeah, I don't know what it is. So hopefully you're able to handle business this week, and you'll get another crack at them again.
Well, we will go through all of the weekend, set the menu for the program coming up on a Monday edition of Ben and Woods. First, let's get a quick check of traffic right now with Kelly Danick here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Good morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Off to a bit of a busy start. This collision on northbound 5 right at the East 54 connector ramp, and collision on westbound King Freeway just before the 125 hit and run situation there. It's over to the right shoulder. In the North County, southbound 15 near Camino del Norte, reports of a stalled car over to the right shoulder. Very narrow shoulder, so please take it extra carefully there, south 15 at Camino del Norte. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It feels like we haven't heard too many Padres crap-ups lately, but we're going to jump right in with a 3 in a row
repeat,
on this Monday morning as we talk about yesterday's game, which taken on its own, Woods, in like a one game, it was actually just one bad inning from you, Darvish, and the rest of the game, Padres played pretty well. They just could not come up with the big giant blow that could have turned the game on its head. But credit to the team for fighting back, and we can talk about what happened yesterday up in Los Angeles, and obviously, the decision to bring Robert Suarez in the 8th inning there. I had no problem with it, by the way. Especially because he hadn't been used. Did not work out against Mookie Betts on the second pitch to Mookie Betts. Turned it around and saw that highlight later. Did not get to see it live, but
it was really fun. It was really
cool.
I
can imagine that it was pretty much a gut really punch if you were watching it live after seeing them come all the way back and tie the game at 4 to just immediately have the Dodgers retake the lead. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it kills the mood a little bit, no doubt about that. So we'll go through that. The other 2 games of the weekend. No one wants to. I don't know how to phrase this. The series was
relax. It's okay. Relax.
The series was as this whole season has been. The games have been very close between the Padres and the Dodgers all year long. Dodgers continue to win the close games against the Padres every single time. This year they played a close game. The Dodgers have won every single one of them essentially.
Yeah, we win close games against other teams. We just for whatever reason can't get over that hump.
And the Dodgers lose close games against other teams constantly, but against the Padres, they've been finding ways to win those close games.
Yeah, where's that 2025 bullpen been the last 3 days? Because I saw it against the Angels several times, and then they go back to 2024 postseason. Dodgers.
I think that's a real thing, though. For whatever reason, the combination of guys the Dodgers have put together in their bullpen Not very good against other teams, but against Padres hitters, they have been outstanding. They keep coming through with just big clutch performances, and that's something you got to be at least concerned about if the Padres and Dodgers are going to meet again, in the postseason later on. So we'll talk all about that. We will have our guests on Monday, Craig Elston, Padres Hot Tub Podcast, our buddy at 7:35, and our Lynn Sider from The Athletic, Dennis Lynn, will join us at 8:35 this morning. And we'll also have some of our regular features like Don't Do This, Take on Woods at 8:20, our Rindle Report as well. Talk a little SDFC at some point, as Woods mentioned, another huge win last night. We have a team in their first season that now has the best record in all of the MLS. The top, most points, lead in the race for the Supporter Shield. What a great first season for SDFC, and they kept it going yesterday with their 6th consecutive road win. So we'll get into a little bit of that, probably with Craig at some point as well. But when we come back, go ahead.
Are we allowed to have fun at all today, or are we not? Like, can we tell some funny stories?
Yes.
I got some great stuff. I got some great stuff.
You have permission to have a little bit of fun and smile, Padres fans. Not just Woods, everybody.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? All right.
Everybody.
Okay, man, just everyone relax.
And by the way, back at home
over
tonight, Padres have been playing well at Petco Park. You got a big week, and there's no off days. It's time to get back going against the San Francisco Giants this evening, and I expect a pretty good crowd and a pretty good atmosphere at Petco Park. It's not a funeral. This is not the dirge for the San Diego Padres. There's a long way still to go in this season.
I could use some funny. Personally,
I've got it. I got loads of it. I have reams of it. Reams.
You called me yesterday and told me like one story. It took 30 seconds, and I was like crying. I was in tears laughing.
Oh, dude, it just adds to the legend that is my dad. I'll tell it next, and then we can get into the into the crap up. It's legendary.
It's like you tell dad stories, but when you're in his presence, it just magnifies 10 times. Oh my God.
And coming up at 8, guys, I'll go ahead and do a long tease for you. Coming up at 8, look what Daddy found for you. Daddy found the list. I got the
famous
list.
All right, for a new listener, what just the briefest of brief explanations. The list is
the list is my dad categorizing all the movies that he has or has seen or owns or had. This is a new one. It used to be on yellow. This is on white. And I go, find me the list. And he brought it in. I go, what even is this? He goes, I don't know. But I found it. I got it. It's here. I have scanned it. And we will break it down at 8.
Awesome.
Okay. I got all kinds of gold.
I could use a couple of smiles this morning for sure. I think the tier 1's good as well. And look, you're all in the chat. We really appreciate you seeing you this morning. We're a family. We're a community. We'll get through this together. It's Ben and Woods and Paul on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
All right, but first, let's talk about 7 Mile Casino. I was like on Monday morning reminding everybody that even at 6:25 a.m. on a Monday, if you wanted to play some cards, you can, because 7 Mile Casino is one of San Diego's few true 24/7 options for people coming off the late shift, the overnight, want a couple of hours to wind down before your unusual sleep schedule. 7 Mile Casino is there for you with California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em poker, Pai Gow, baccarat, food options, everything you're looking for, Woods.
Well, they have alcohol there, right? Because
Yes,
I could certainly use a few cocktails after that weekend. Yeah, they got everything that you need there. It is a smoke-free environment, though. If slots are something that make you feel better, you're going to have to go somewhere else, okay? Because they don't have them there. They do have all the card games that you love. They got friendly dealers as well. Best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
So easy to get to. No big drive required into the East County. No parking garage to deal with. No, it's awesome. Check it out. It's our place. Make it yours. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
This hour 97 through the fan is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety. All right, Woods, what do you got for us? Make me smile before we get into the Padres crap up, please.
Well, so obviously, man, when I decided to come out here and surprise my dad, you wanted the surprise to not get out. And I get really nervous because Taylor, he likes to grab Bo's little watch and call everybody in the phone, right? And hey, Gabby, it's Tay-Tay, and they talk. And he had my dad on the phone yesterday, and my dad actually asked him, "Where's your mom and dad?" And he said, "Well, my mom is in the other room, and my dad's working." So he actually was able to keep the surprise. So I made it here. So I get here, I text my mom, I go, I'm in the driveway. She goes, "I'm gonna come get you. He's upstairs." I walk upstairs, ready to surprise him. Well, the guy's in the bathroom because he's got to go to the bathroom like every 10 minutes. So he's in the bathroom. So I'm sitting in there waiting, and he finally walks in, and he looks at me, and it was like he saw a ghost. I mean, he had no idea I was there, and it was really cool. And then so we go downstairs, and I I go over to the fridge, and I grab, the water brand, it's called Core, and they got the big, thick tops, like they're big, thick bottles and big, thick blue tops. So I sit down on the couch, and I crack open a Core water, and my mom's next to me, and my dad's across the room, and my mom goes, ooh, where did you get that? I go, "What?" She goes, "That water." I go, I got it from the fridge. And she said,
"Is that okay?"
"Oh, did you get it?" She goes, "Did you get it out of the side door, or did you get it out of like the the main?" I go, I go, "I don't know." She goes, "Well, those are your dad's." I go, "What?" I go, there's like 400. I'll replace them. I have money. I can go get more Core waters if I need to. She goes, no. He refills those. And I go, "What do you mean he refills those?" She goes, he'll finish one and then refill it and put the cap back on. I go, are you kidding me? And he puts them in the fridge.
Oh my God.
And she's like, yeah. I go, all right, I'll just go get an Ozarka brand water because those have not been tampered with. So my dude is drinking his water and then he's filling up all the empty water bottles and putting them back in the fridge.
So he'll buy like
now,
one case of water, and that's it for
the last 6 years. Yeah, 6 years,
and then
6 years.
Drinks one, refills it with tap water, puts it back in the fridge like it's the same thing.
And this is not eco water that they have there. So
no, they don't have it here. So
did you not notice the seal had been broken? Like you keep an eye out for the seal.
I didn't. Well, the seal on a core water is covered by the big giant cap. So I just opened it up and took it to the dome. And next thing you know, my mom was like, "Oh yeah, no, don't drink those." And I'm like, "Is there like laxative or something here? Why is she telling me not to drink his special waters, man?"
Oh my
it's
God,
crazy.
That is peak Gary.
Why not just get a jug to refill then? Why does he have the plastic? But does he like the plasticky taste that it imparts? Or
I don't know. I really don't know.
He wants to give the image that he's a bottled water drinker when he's not really a bottled water drinker.
Potentially. But yeah,
Gonna get my man a Brita or something like. Even a small filter will help.
You know that I completely approve of Gary's
I know,
frugal and economic ways because I am much the same, but that may be a bridge too far. That's one that even I couldn't cross.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and I didn't have any idea, but I guess at the end of the day I shouldn't be surprised at all. But I was dying. I was absolutely dying this weekend. Man, the Dodger fans are in the chat this morning. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. Every interaction does wonders for us, so we do appreciate it.
Please hit like and subscribe if you're on YouTube in the chat.
Yes, please hit like and subscribe. I did, I might have said it earlier, but I'll say it again because my mentions are through the roof. And they have a 2-game lead in the division, and it's August 18th. And that to me is like, okay, we're okay, right? Like that gives me a little bit they're so excited about a 2-game lead. I mean, in reality, that's the team that was supposed to win 115, 116, 100. I saw 120 from ESPN. 120 games they were predicted to win. That's not going to happen. We know that. They're a really good team. They've been a good team. They spent a ton of money. They got all the great players in the offseason. And it is the fact that we're only 2 out gives me a little bit of happiness. So, hey, take your victory lap. You certainly earned it. I would be taking mine this morning if we had. But we do appreciate you being here.
All right, let's
3-game lead with the tiebreaker.
Let's get into it's a 2-game lead, but if Padres make up 3 games, they're not tied, they're ahead. So it's 2.5.
They're ahead,
is what you'd call it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our crap up. We'll talk about yesterday's game, get us started on the weekend that was in Chavez Ravine, coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. A couple of problems here. One of them is a possible brush or encampment fire near the Imperial Avenue off-ramp, South 805, some smoke visible in the area. Also, hit-and-run crash westbound King Freeway for the 125. It's over to the right shoulder. And collision on the transition ramp northbound 5 to the East 54 connector. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
Oh, a shame indeed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
What the heck happened? Are you kidding me?
Can't even believe it.
It's the Padres
Crap up.
presented by Hamul Casino. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Freeman swings, sends it in the air to deep right center field. Jackson Merrill back. He will watch. It's going to go well into the right field pavilion for Freddie Freeman. His 15th home run of the year is a 3-run shot in the bottom of the first inning, and the Dodgers take an early lead, 3-0. And the 0-2 launched to left field. Mariano back, he returned to watch, and this one's going to go in the left field pavilion for Fajes. His 20th, and the Dodgers have hit 2 home runs against Darvish in the bottom of the first inning. They now lead it 4-0. Fernando out to right center field. He's found the gap, and he's got plenty of speed to get to second. Cronenworth jogging home from third, and the Padres with their second double of the day are on the board. Tatis plates Cronenworth, and it's 4-1. And this time a fly ball to deep right field. Hernandez is back. He's at the wall. This one gonna go. How about another for Ramon Laureano? His 4th as a Padre. He stays white hot. And a leadoff homer here in the 5th inning to cut it to 4-2. And O'Hearn hits it in the air deep down the right field line. Hernandez over towards the corner. Not going to get there. It's a fair ball. Hops up towards the side wall. Sheets hustling home to score. An RBI double for O'Hearn. And a 1-run game here in the 6th. And the pitch to Iglesias is grounded slowly to shortstop. Charged by Betts. He'll throw to first base. That is in time, and the game is tied. Xander comes in to score on the RBI ground out by Jose Iglesias. And the Padres have finally made it all the way back. 4-4 here in the 8th. And Betts sends it in the air to deep left field. Sheets is back at the wall. Gonna go. So after the Padres work all day long to chip away and tie it up, it takes Mookie Betts only 3 pitches to put the Dodgers back ahead. His 13th home run of the season. And LA leads 5-4. Payoff pitch on the way. Manny swings and misses, strike 3. Challenged him with a fastball. And Machado strikes out to end the game as Vesia goes 5 up, 5 down to close this thing out. And the Dodgers sweep the Padres with a 5-4 win here this afternoon. And we will go into the new week with the Padres 2 games in back of the Dodgers in the National League West.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to show up tomorrow and ready to play baseball. Didn't play as well as we'd like to have, and series didn't go like we wanted to, but we know we're capable of. We'll get ready to play tomorrow. This team is more than a great place.
Oh, obviously the first inning was the story in the game yesterday. Well, I mean, I guess Mookie Betts' home run was also ended up being just as big of a story, but if Yu Darvish doesn't give up 2 home runs and 4 runs in the first inning, it's a completely different ball game. And I felt bad. Did you see Yu's? You felt like he was beating himself up after the game in the quotes in the post-game story, Woods. He said he got ahead of Freddie Freeman 0-2 and, hit the corners on, outside corner, blew it past him with, fastballs, both pitches. And he said, I should not. That was my mistake. Bad strategy, bad choice to try to go 3 straight fastballs past Freddie Freeman, and he let that one leak over the middle. I mean, you think 0-2, you've got him right where you want him. You can do anything you want. You've got 9 pitches to choose from. Freddie's got to be thinking, what is he going to go here now? It's and just the absolute worst decision, worst pitch you could possibly do, and put yourself behind 3-0 right off the bat after the first 2 games of those series. It was just a really tough moment, I think, for Yu Darvish and the Padres there.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And again, you got 2 guys here trying to explain a game that neither of us got a chance to watch much. I was traveling. You were with your son in the hospital. And I saw the last what it boiled down to, after you come back to tie the game. And, yeah, you did feel like, all right, these boys are not going out of there without getting a win. And, you feel terrible for Suarez. What are your thoughts on Suarez pitching there instead of waiting for a lead, Ben? Because I did see since we got Mason Miller, I saw essentially Mason Miller needs to be the closer, right? And so with the top of the order coming through there, that's the area where Mason Miller has kind of been deployed, right? The 8th inning setup guy for Robert Suarez, top of the order coming. Why not go to Miller there? I know, I hate the hindsight machine because if Robert Suarez gets through it there, you score, you've got Mason Miller to close out the game. But why did it switch?
Well, I didn't see the
on
rationale, but when I saw it, I thought it made actually sense to me. Just following on the app as I was, and I thought we've already seen Miller in this series. Suarez hasn't pitched at all, so best case scenario, you put Suarez in, you trust him, whatever inning it is, because he's been really, really good, and then if you can score a bunch in the ninth. You don't even have to use Miller. You can give him the day off. You'd rather not use Miller. Now, it did work out that way where they didn't end up needing to use Miller because there was no bottom of the ninth, but you don't use the same arm twice when you have a fresh arm to go to in that situation because they hadn't used Suarez. They needed to use Suarez, honestly.
Yeah,
but he needed an inning. It had been so long since he had pitched, since early in the week, that I thought that was the absolute right decision to go with Suarez there.
But, I mean, why, though? Because Miller had only thrown 14 pitches on Friday. He's thrown 14 pitches in the last 5 days, and top of the order coming up. Again, I'm okay
if you had a
with,
lead,
like, whatever.
If you had a lead, I would have said, okay, Miller and then Suarez to close it out. But because you didn't have a lead and you didn't know what was going to happen, I think you wanted to make sure Suarez got into that game. If Miller gave up a run in the eighth and you didn't get to have Suarez pitch at all, then it's another day without Suarez getting a chance to work. I think you wanted to get him into that game, and that was the good spot for him to get into that game.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, it's fine. It's fine. So does that doesn't speak anything to you of saying, because, again, it's not a save situation for either guy. It's a tie ball game.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, the hindsight machine looking back going, all right, well, we had the top of the order there with our most electric arm who had only thrown 14 pitches to that point. Why not give him a shot to get in there? If we do get a lead, then we have our MLB saves leading closer to close it out. Okay, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I guess. But I don't know. It just seemed like a weird kind of switch up of the process. No?
I don't know. I felt like I was expecting Suarez to come in there just based on the usage from earlier in the series. There's no reason to add more bullets onto Mason Miller's arm when you've already used him and you haven't used Suarez in days and days. They should be interchangeable. Look how the Dodgers use their bullpen. You got no idea who's coming in the fifth, who's coming in the ninth. It's complete chaos in that bullpen, but Dave Roberts certainly made it work for him this weekend. I mean, you have no idea who their closer is, and it doesn't really matter. That's the big thing. We've made so much of a big deal about who gets the ninth inning for so many years. It's got to be your closer. You got to have someone who can lock it down in the pressure situations. The Dodgers show you can make it work without having a traditional setup in the bullpen. Go with the arm that makes the most sense. And for me, I thought Suarez made the most sense in the eighth inning just because you hadn't used him all series and you wanted to get him some work. And I mean, it was a high leverage inning and he's been such a good arm for you there. So I did not have a problem at all with Robert Suarez going in there.
I just thought it was odd. I mean, I thought it was odd. I thought it was odd in the game before to try to steal 3 times. I thought it was odd bunting with a chance for a big inning in the first game. I thought we went out of the way that we had been playing baseball. I thought we really, really maybe overthought it a little bit, and maybe there is some credibility or credence to the fact that, yeah, man, when it's the Dodgers and that LA blue and you're playing in Chavez Ravine and they're the world champs, that maybe you do get a little bit of a tight B hole a little bit. It certainly looked like it from the top of our order. Really nobody stepped up. Nobody came through. You're not going to win a lot of ball games when that happens. You're just not. And hopefully you can get back to you got to flush it and move on because you got a 4 game set against the Giants and then you got the Dodgers again. So there's no end in sight. But the Giants are a team you can beat. Somebody had tweeted, I think it was our buddy Zach tweeted, the record of the Dodgers against playoff contenders right now, we're the only one that they have a winning record against at 8-2. The rest are 2-3, 3-4, whatever. There's something different. They seem to be just owning us right now, and you got to change that. You got to figure out a way this weekend at Petco Park to at least take 2 or 3 from these guys.
So let's talk about big picture takeaways here. Now, comparing the two teams, I think one area where you can really be concerned the Dodgers have a big advantage is in starting pitching. And with Michael King now on the shelf again and the Dodgers starters getting healthy, we saw 3 really good efforts from Dodgers starting pitching. Now, the Padres had some chances, especially against Snell early. They got a couple of runs against Glass now, but, he's going to strike out a lot of guys. Those are all tough pitchers. Now, the Padres can be good. they can have good starting pitching performances. They didn't get. You'd think they got knocked around. Padres starting pitchers in the series actually only gave up 5 hits in the 3 games. They walked too many guys. Overall, the Padres walked 12 batters in the series.
A team like
6.
the Dodgers will capitalize on any mistake. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and we saw it play out in all 3 games.
But again, hey, listen, let me give credit where credit is due. I think, with the top of their order, I'm okay being a little bit careful, with those guys. That's why they constructed their roster the way that they did, because a starting pitcher does not really feel comfortable. What murdered us is the bottom of their order getting us, especially in game 1. Michael Conforto, who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, is out there ripping, RBI singles all over the yard. The bottom of the order murdered this team this weekend. So again, I totally understand why you want to be a little bit careful with the top. I will not talk about the umpires today. I will not. I thought they were equally terrible. Big situations. They were horrible, but you got to rise above that stuff, man. You got to rise above that stuff if you want to win a World Series. And Padres haven't shown the ability to do that yet.
So starting pitching, the Dodgers definitely, as we knew all season long, if they're healthy, they're going to always have the advantage. Bullpen, Padres bullpen wasn't bad. If you consider Randy Vasquez more of a starter, which I do, than a bullpen arm, bullpen gave up 1 run each game, and they pitched quite a bit. About, not including Randy Vasquez, they pitched about 12 to 13 innings, I believe, in the 3. They gave up 3 runs, mostly just on solo home runs. Teoscar got the 1. Obviously, Mookie got the 1 yesterday. It wasn't – the Padres bullpen was good, really, for the whole series. You can't expect them to be perfect every single day when you're asking so many innings out of them. You'd usually take 4 or 5 innings, 1 run out of a bullpen every single night. That's considered really good bullpen work by the San Diego Padres. Unfortunately, those runs turned out to be really critical both in the first and third game, because they ended up being the difference in the game in both of those contests.
Yeah, no doubt. And we didn't really get the chance. We had a lead in this series for all of 1 inning. And when that happens, it takes away your greatest strength, right? It takes away your greatest strength. You didn't get the chance to deploy your pen like you had to this point this season. So, hey, man, I tweeted it the other day. I will stand by it. I think you play conservative when you're chasing, and I think you play aggressive when you're leading. They didn't lead. And then they led for 1 inning, and it was in the 2nd inning of game 1.
And then offensively, you touched on it. Both teams actually weren't good with runners in scoring position. Dodgers were, I think, 3 for 13. Padres were 3 for 20 in the series. The Dodgers just made their 3 really count with a 3-run home run yesterday by Freddie Freeman and a couple of other big hits when they needed it. The bottom of the order, you mentioned, the Dodgers do that against the Padres and not against the other teams. But ultimately, Padres got out-homered 5-2. So the Dodgers took advantage of mistakes. Padres out-doubled the Dodgers 7-0. They out-hit them in the series. It wasn't as lopsided. The numbers aren't as lopsided as you would think in a 3-game sweep. The Padres offense it was just the 3 home runs coming in the right moments for the Dodgers that made the difference in the series. Otherwise, the Padres had the offensive advantage in every other category all series long, just not when they needed them.
Not when they needed it, and you're playing from behind. I mean, it's just you look up and it's 3-0, and you're like, great, here we go. It's a real kick in the nuts, man. It really is. You played from behind most of the series, and just funky plays, dropped balls, 3 guys thrown out. Are you kidding me? The no challenge of Manny, weird stuff. We just got really caught on our heels all weekend, and I hated that. Hated it.
All right, we'll continue the discussion of the Padres, go more into the first couple of games.
We need to talk about Dylan Cease, and we need to talk about Jackson Merrill.
I think
taken out of the game yesterday.
That's both issues certainly going forward for the Padres that they'll need to look at as well. So get to that coming up. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods. Don't go away. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Got a giveaway here in a couple of minutes. If you're a card collector, got some tickets, VIP tickets to the Front Row Card Show coming to the Town and Country Resort in Mission Valley at the end of this month. That's coming up. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods here. Ben and Paul live in studio. Woods live from the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah, deep in the heart of Texas.
Did you get your Whataburger yet?
No, I did not. I did not. No, I was going to get up this morning. It's weird. You know, the time difference here is 2 hours ahead. So the show starts at 8 a.m. here. And I was like, oh, this will be great. And then I remembered, I looked at tonight's game and I go, oh, cool. It starts at 8:40. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? When I was in Hawaii, the game started at 3:40, which was great, but you get up at 2:30 in the morning, so I can't.
What time were the games on when you were in Manchester? I don't know if you were even watching it, but they had to have been early morning.
2 days before, Paulie. They're on 48 hours before. It's like, this is crazy. It's crazy, and I'm obviously thankful for you guys letting me, be able to do this. And I know it's different. I know it's a pain. Thanks to the tier ones too. Got a lot of DMs already. My dad's doing great, man. He's up and around this morning. He seems to be in a lot better spirits. I'm not going to take full credit for it, of course, but he'll be ready for me to go after a couple days for sure. I have that effect.
Maybe after our 8 o'clock segment today.
Oh, maybe that could be the one that sends him over the edge. He's like in the files. He goes, I found some transcripts from Loyola. Remember when that teacher gave you a D and we had to write all those letters and threaten legal action?
He kept those.
He's got them.
For what
I forgot
purpose?
about it. I have no idea, Benjamin. And I go, all right, well, I'm going to need them. And then can we please get rid of them? Oh, look at that. I sent this to Paulie this morning. How crazy is this picture? It is 40 years old, and it's a picture I drew for him when my mom and him started dating. They got married in 1985. And it says, to Gary from Steven. And it's a picture of like a left-handed pitcher. What's the number on there? 23?
Yeah, so a Fernando Tatis Jr. jersey.
Yep.
Before Fernando was even born.
Right.
Yeah. And so I drew that picture for him 40 some odd years ago, and he saved it. Isn't that incredible?
That is awesome.
So I got a lot of, at this week, we have a lot of memory lane stuff. There's a lot of funny pictures of me around. There's a lot of funny stuff, and we'll have some fun with it this week for sure.
So Saturday night, we show up at our Moneyline viewing party in Encinitas, and I'm there 25 minutes early. The parking lot's already full. Tier ones are taking over the place. Every table is full of tier ones when I walk in. It was an incredible scene. You guys are absolutely awesome. But as I walked in, and I knew this going into the game, with Dylan Cease taking on Blake Snell, I think I told either Paulie or Woods this. I said, I guarantee you, one of them is not going to show up for this game. One of them is going to have an absolute meltdown in this game, but I didn't know which one.
It had potential to be the worst game of all time, the most frustrating watch. It's the Blake Snell and Dylan Cease are kind of one and the same. Very elite, dirty stuff. And frustrating as hell. Full counts, almost every batter. It's tough.
And while Dylan Cease has pitched much better in the second half of the season than he did in the first half of the season, he has done nothing to alleviate your concern heading into the postseason. And using Dylan Cease in a big start, because under the bright lights, the 4 walks in the first inning, the 6 walks total. It's just something that is going to drive any manager absolutely, especially Mike Schilt, absolutely crazy. And, he said nothing but great things about Dylan Cease for weeks and weeks now. But somewhere in the back of his mind, Mike Schilt has got to have some seeds of doubt. The next time there's a big start, Dylan Cease against the Dodgers, Dylan Cease in the playoffs, you've got to wonder what is it going to be. And Blake Snell, I would worry about as well. The Padres had a chance to knock him down in that first inning, and they ran themselves out of potentially a huge inning against Blake Snell. I mean, they gave him just an absolute gift. 4 of the first 5 Padres batters got hits in that game. Normally, you're thinking, okay, we're going to score at least 2, maybe 5. No, because they ran themselves out of the inning. They ended up scoring none there and gave Blake Snell the lifeline that he needed to end up settling in like Blake Snell does and turn in a really, really good performance. But Dylan Cease never got out of his jam. He had a chance He had Michael Conforto. If he had gotten away with just a sac fly, would have been fine. But, Michael Conforto, as you said, came through with a big hit. And at that point, you knew things were going to be really dicey the rest of that night on Saturday.
I just couldn't believe it, man. The 3 caught stealings in an inning. You got a guy on the ropes. And I just, I guess Schulte said after the game, no, we saw something. We wanted to exploit it. And again, dude, if you do it and you get away with it, you're a genius. You didn't. So you're a GOAT. And I don't mean the greatest of all time. You saw something. You thought you saw something. It didn't work. And completely, you didn't lose the game because of it. You lost the game because Dylan Cease couldn't find the zone. And yeah, man, of course, it's just going to play into that narrative that, lights are too bright. The lights are too bright for Dylan in those big games. So I don't know what you do, dude. I think if the playoffs started today, right, and you had a couple of days off, I don't know where you pitch him. It would be 100% matchup based. I don't think you can feel confident in saying, no, we're on the road in a tough environment, I'm throwing Dylan Cease. I really don't. I think you would have to move things around. And, he's done nothing really to prove otherwise. A couple of good starts after the break, notwithstanding, but it was really frustrating stuff, man. And then I got to tell you, too, they showed the angle on television of Manny Machado sliding into second base. The dude was as safe as ever been.
I thought he was safe in real time. I mean, I thought the leg got under there, and I don't know what they saw.
If you challenge that and you get it wrong, BFD. Who cares about saving your challenge? The risk reward in that case, I think, far outweighs it. And I thought it was just very clear.
It's sad that now remember in the playoffs, you do get 2 challenges. I think if that's a playoff game, you definitely challenge knowing you've got a second one. I do think it kind of sucks knowing that if you challenge something early, even though you think you've got it and you get it wrong, that you're now at the whims of these umpires who are so inconsistent with their calls and knowing, what if they miss like 5 more calls in this game and we can't challenge any of them? And you're like, you do feel like your hands are tied in the first inning on a close play. I'd be in favor of a second challenge just in the regular season as well. So those close ones that are big moments early in the game, you don't feel like, oh, this is a terrible umpiring crew though, and I don't want to risk my challenge this early in the game because I might need it 3 more times later in this game because they're going to make more and more mistakes. I think it's about time we had a second challenge. We've sped up games with the pitch clock. I could do with a second challenge in the regular season like they do in the playoffs. If they do it in the playoffs, that means they know it's probably an important thing that we don't do that. But then in the regular season, it's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. These games don't matter because we'll just do one. So I would agree with you. And I don't know that it was a bad decision not to challenge because it was so early, but I agree. I sort of agree where you're saying, Woods, like take your chances. And if it doesn't work out, then hope the umpires actually do their jobs correctly the rest of the game.
I feel like you just said bitch clock, by the way, Paulie. I really do.
I'm going to assume he did.
We'll go back and check. Bitch clock?
I like that. The bitch clock.
Pitch clock,
I know,
more
man.
like.
It just, listen, at the end of the day, nothing really went right, and you didn't do.
I mean, Jackson Merrill dropping a nearly routine fly ball. I mean, I guess he heard Fernando, and, you want to, try to give the kid some leeway, but that's a ball that he catches 99 out of 100 times. And of course it happened.
And was his ankle, bothering him, out there? I'm sure it was after we found out. We saw what happened. It was Friday, right? When he came out of the box, got his spike stuck, just, his cleat got grabbed, just bad luck there. And he's playing on a gimpy ankle the rest of the weekend until they ended up taking him out of the game yesterday. You just hope that it's not something that lingers.
A little algae.
And, impacts
Why was
Jackson.
he in yesterday?
Well, he's like, when you're on Manny Machado's team, I think there's probably an intense pressure to feel like I go out there and play no matter how I'm feeling. And I'm sure Jackson has that mindset. Like, you know what? Give me some treatment. I'm going to go out there. I played through the game on Saturday. Yeah, I dropped one, but I should be getting better. But he's not. You keep running on an injured ankle. It's not going to get better. You need to give it a few days. The question is, will he be out of the lineup today and tomorrow? Does he need a 10-day stint on the injured list to get right? I mean, you can put Ramon Laureano in center field. He's played tons of center field in his career. So that's not, you have the ability to do that and try to get Jackson Merrill right for the rest of the season. but you also miss, Jackson Merrill's impact. And this is a critical time where you'd like to have as many guys, available as possible down the stretch.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a critical time, but you're at a 98% chance or something to make the playoffs right now.
It's down to 97 after yesterday's loss.
All right, 97% chance to make the playoffs. And please don't, I'm not sugarcoating this. They were terrible, all of them, to a man and a manager. All of them did not have a great series. It's okay, it happens, but we all just hoped that they would make the playoffs. And I understand when you do get close to a team like the Dodgers and you have a lead on them, you get swept. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I feel embarrassed too, but I try to remind myself, get healthy, get right for the playoffs, and let's see what happens. And if that means Jackson needs to sit for a few days, that's okay. That's okay. You can win games without him. Yeah, Laureano was wonderful. You're right, Purple. Let me give him and Wandy Peralta and Ron Marinaccio all of the flowers that they so deserve because those guys were fantastic.
Yeah, and of course on Friday night, Ramon Laureano did homer off the pole against Clayton Kershaw there to give the Padres a lead in the top of the second inning after Wandy did everything you can ask from him. I
love you, Wandy.
Got all 4 outs, 2 strikeouts. I mean, we talked about it on Friday. What were the Padres going to do? And the opener of Wandy Peralta was an option that we discussed, Woods, with a little bit of trepidation. If you're going to throw Wandy against those guys, you're certainly risking playing with fire, but he absolutely delivered and has honestly been a fantastic reliever the last couple of months. I mean, he really has. You talk about the Padres 5, the fist. David Morgan's been really good. Wandy's been really good. I mean, they've had 7 guys you can count on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Count on out of the bullpen, and over the last now month and a half or so. And Wandy was terrific, did exactly what they needed. And I thought Randy Vasquez was pretty good as well. He could have gotten through that entire 3 2/3 innings without giving up a run, if not for the bunt that just bounced off the heel of Manny's glove on the dive. It's hard to say. You absolutely have to catch that. I think Manny would say, got to get that one. When you're diving, strange things happen. He overdove. You get that adrenaline. I got to get there. And then you end up just going an inch or two too far. But other than that, I thought Randy Vasquez did a really nice job in that inning. That's really the only chance the Dodgers had for, most of the game was that bottom of the third with the bottom of the order going single, bunt, single. And then they make, their guys at the top of the order, ground out, fly out to get a couple of runs. That was it. I mean, what a terrific job by both of those guys to start the series.
Michael G., you're absolutely right. Yuki did pitch scoreless innings on back-to-back days. Congratulations, Yuki Matsui. I have a rose for you too. It just was not a good series, man. Was not a good series at all. There was a couple of little cool bright spots for me. Throwing out Ohtani was pretty cool. 1.8 second pop time to get one of the speediest guys on the planet by about 1.5 feet. That was encouraging. Again, you saw some decent bullpen work from some guys, but all in all, man, a really, really rough series for the guys. And, the lineup continues to be the topic du jour every day. And I'm really okay with talking about it. I'm really okay with moving it around because for whatever reason, I don't know, man. It just the confidence. It's not confidence inspiring right now. And you got an all-star that you traded for sitting on the bench most days. And I know righty, lefty, all of that. I've managed teams before, not at that level. I understand it, but I want my best players in there.
Well,
right now we don't have them.
Yeah, I'd like to think, Woods, that they've already been thinking about it. I'd hope that Mike Schilt and AJ Preller, when they have their meetings, that it's something that's already been discussed. I don't know that you change the lineup when you win 14 of 16 games and you're consistently putting 5 to 7 runs on the board. That's not the time to make a big change in a lineup. This series may give you the opportunity, though, to right size what you probably were hopefully already thinking about, and that is move Ramon Laureano up in the lineup. I would definitely consider moving Luis Arraez down to the lineup. I consider moving Jackson Merrill down a little deeper in the lineup. I want to see Ryan O'Hearn, play on an everyday basis. Who
is Nick O'Hearn?
He's a golfer.
Calling him Nick O'Hearn.
He's actually a PGA Tour golfer from about 9 years ago that I cannot get out of my head. It's just a problem I'm going to keep having going forward. Ryan O'Hearn
when
he was acquired. He's an all-star. You've got to get him, give him a day off against a tough lefty every once in a while, but you don't have to sit him against every single lefty and make sure that Luis Arraez is in that lineup every single day. Give Arraez a day off here or there. You can give Jake a day off here or there. Ryan O'Hearn should be playing more than he is.
The funny thing is you got Jose Iglesias, who is you give up literally nothing with the glove anywhere you put him, and they've got him DHing, because he's a right-handed bat. So I think at this point, if you're gonna do that, like get him in the field where he can actually help you beyond what his bat is, which it's not a lot. His best attribute is his glove. So if you're gonna give guys days, go ahead. And nobody's going to have any problem with that. But for him to be your DH, I don't know, man. Like, I'm okay watching a lefty hit a lefty every now and then. I really am, especially
I'm okay.
an all-star.
Iglesias has been good with the bat lately. I mean, it came through with
at
least,
he's been fine.
Drove in the tying run yesterday when he pinch hit, didn't get a hit, but did get the ball where he needed to score that run. He's been solid.
He's very valuable.
Yeah,
he's very valuable. But his biggest value is probably his glove, no? And so you have the ability to get guys off their feet. You can do that. But I think, when you trade for Ryan O'Hearn, I know he said when he got here, use me how you want to use me. Well, I mean, it hasn't been much. And I think he's a valuable player. I think he's a dog. I mean, I think we all agree that's the guy in there that will give you a really, really good AB. He fights. He wants it, all of that stuff. So I'm surprised he's not in there more than he's been. But hey, listen.
It doesn't feel like it's a Moneyball situation. Hey, I want Hatterberg at first. He's like, well, too bad. I ain't playing him. Doesn't feel like that, but It is like, I mean, I was wondering it all weekend. I've been wondering it pretty much most games since the trade deadline. I'm like, why did you go out and get this all-star slugger if he's just going to come off the bench every other game?
Well, and Wesley, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. He says, we're talking about Iglesias making the big hits. Now we lose 3 in a way. We want to sit him. I didn't say sit him. I actually said put him in the field. Put him in the field where he's extremely valuable with the glove. Give Manny a day off. Manny's been scuffling like a mother right now. So, Jose Iglesias can come in. He gives you a really, really good glove. Every position he plays. It's okay to sit Luis Arraez. I know he's a winning player. According to Schilt, that's what he always says about him. But he looks like he could use a day too. And people need to be unselfish at this point in the season, right? Like, we're trying to win a World Series here. So you got to keep moving guys around until you find a formula that works, and don't be afraid to move it around.
Now, we'll see. Well, I'm curious. Tonight would be a night where you might make a change, and we'll see what happens when the lineup comes out this evening. Right now, I got a pair of VIP tickets to give away to the Front Row Card Show at the Town & Country Resort, August 30th and 31st. If you want to start dialing, we'll take the 5th caller, 833-288-0973. Join more than 400 vendors of sports cards, Pokemon, comic books, autographs, and other collectibles. Vendors are buying with cash, so bring your collection to the show. If you want to sell tickets at frontrowcardshow.com or win them right here at 833-288-0973. We'll come back with Don't Do This, including a batter that got so frustrated that he nearly committed assault with a deadly weapon. That is coming up next with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, gang, wanted to tell you, if you're trapped in a high-rate mortgage, if you're watching your hard-earned money vanish every month, stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they're delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program, it's streamlined, it's low cost, it's a way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Who couldn't use a break like that? Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. What about skipping your next 2 house payments entirely? Get back on good, solid financial ground. Rates this low will not last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no obligation quote. Loan Pronto is incredible. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com. Lock in that new low rate. Skip those next 2 payments. Don't let those high rates hold you back. 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, quick DDT, and then we'll see what Craig Elston brings this morning. Looking forward to Craig's appearance in about 10 minutes. Don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. There's just like a half-second delay between me and Woods in Texas. Which
better
is
than
fine.
It was in Hawaii.
That's true. It was further away in Hawaii. This is just a quick personal one. I mentioned I was in the hospital all day yesterday with my son, who is doing better, and I'm going to go check on him in a couple hours here before the end of the show. But I still can't believe we're in the year 2025, and all they have to sit in is metal folding chairs. Metal folding chairs should be like banned from planet Earth. No one ever wants to sit in a metal folding chair. I mean, there's not even padding on it.
Oh.
It's just a metal folding chair, old school metal folding chair.
You can get away like with the padded chair that you see like the NBA benches or something.
It's made out of metal, but they've got the padding on it. No padding, just metal for about 13 hours yesterday.
That sounds awful.
That is horrific, dude. Absolutely horrific. Also, if we're banning things, can we get rid of CarPlay in the rental car? CarPlay? You guys know what CarPlay is?
Yeah.
I use it every day.
For your phone.
I couldn't get my CarPlay to work for like half a day, and I was going ballistic.
It's maybe the worst invention of all time, but I digress. We can do another segment about CarPlay and how frustrating it is. But let's get don't do this. Yeah, it's terrible. Victor Robles, who's a Seattle Mariners outfielder, he got thrown out of a minor league game after he did something that is one of the biggest no-nos in baseball. He threw his bat at the starting pitcher who had just drilled him in the hand. I think it was his 5th time in 15 rehab ABs that he had been hit with a pitch, and he was over it. He was over it. He gets up and in. He kind of swings at the pitch, but he goes up and in, and he just picks his bat up, and he goes straight overhand and boom, throws the bat at the pitcher. It's just something you never want to see, right? Never, ever, ever, ever want to see that. He did apologize. He went to Instagram and said, I want to take a moment to sincerely apologize for my recent reaction on the field. I let my frustration get the best of me. I understand how that may have affected not just the game, but the energy and respect we all work so hard to maintain. Coming off a long rehab, being away from the game for most of the season, been physically and mentally challenging. Adding to that, the recent passing of my mother has been incredibly hard. I've been doing my best to hold it together. It's not an excuse, but some context. I feel you deserve to understand where I'm coming from. So he apologized, but oh my God, dude. Threw the bat.
That is not something you expect to see. That's like, hey, watch this hit by pitch, but you're not going to believe what happens next.
The umpire almost looked surprised for a second, and then he did the quick ejection, as you would. And then he thought, should I get in front of him and stop this fight? And he did for like half a second. Then he realized, you know what? I'm fine. Just go let him run right by me and go try to attack. Let some of the other guys step in and stop him. This is not. I don't get paid enough as a minor league umpire to break up this fight, and just kind of backed off.
See, some comments in the chat. Tatis, take notes. I would like to see Tatis do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see him banged for a week, that's fine. To have him throw his bat, but
I mean, what kind of suspension is that? That's got to be more than
feels like a week, not a day.
Yeah. He threw the big tub of Gatorade, like not the big giant tub, but like the handle that has all the different Gatorades in it. He picked it up, threw that on the field as well. I think he was pretty pissed. Again, trying to get back, you're rehabbing, and it's like, oh man, like got me again. So it is tough. It's not worth a suspension, guys, for Tatis to do that. It's not.
All right, finally, a little do this for a Monday.
DD mega do.
I'll give MLB credit when they deserve some credit. They pulled off another pretty successful Players Weekend, culminating in the Little League Classic yesterday in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where the New York Mets beat the Seattle Mariners 7-3. Cool touches throughout the weekend with the personalized bats and everything. I really enjoyed that. And the players they do get into that weekend in Williamsport. I saw a bunch of fun sites like Julio Rodriguez with the Washington team from the Little League and going down the hill and taking selfies at the game. And then at the end, after the Mariners and Mets wrapped up their game in Little League fashion, they did the handshake line across home plate.
Cool.
Handshake, high five, handshake, good game, good game, good game.
F you, good game, good game. You suck. Good game, good game, good game. Kiss his ass, kiss your own ass.
Kiss his ass. I almost tweeted this weekend after the Padres were just futile. Really at the dish. Maybe we go back to the bats that we were using that had the hits in them. I know that I like your pencil and your lightsaber and everything else, but like if I'm hitting well, I'm probably just going to go with the standard brown, old hickory or Louisville slugger or whatever I was that was helping us win ball games, and not the, in my bat would just be it would just be Ben's body is what it'd be. Ben would be my bat. It would be elite, my Players Weekend bat. But yeah, you take a couple 0 for 4s, a couple ground into a double play. I'm going back to the old hickory or whatever I'm using.
And that is don't and do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, you all know Craig Elston, used to work here with us, now Padres Hot Tub Podcast. He does not pull his punches generally. Curious to hear what Craig has to say about the weekend that was in Los Angeles.
I was texting with Craig yesterday. Stay tuned.
Oh, Dominic's got a good idea. Right. My calves as a bat in bat form.
I like that.
It would almost look like a torpedo bat, I would think, when you put the calves in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big. They're like, sir, that barrel is way too big. Way too big.
Looks like one of those orange plastic bats that you played with as a kid.
That you used with the wiffle balls, with the big ones, not the skinny ones. All right, we will talk to Craig Elston when we come back. Don't go away. Ben and Woods continuing here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, another chance to tell you about 7 Mile Casino on a Monday morning. Now, you've really got two options if you want to play cards in San Diego. You can hop in your car, and wherever you are, you can drive out 45, 55 minutes, an hour or more deep into the East County and find one of those casinos that do have a card room and play there. But then you're going to have to drive all the way back. Or you can hop on the 5 freeway, head south to Chula Vista, 7 miles south of downtown, and play at the more upscale, better card room and have way more time to play because you're not spending the entire afternoon or evening in your car.
I just really like ease of use. I really do. I like when things are easier. The parking is easier. It's just an easier place to navigate. It's an easier place to navigate to. They take such good care of you when you're there. If you're a high limit player, they will take your action as well. Obviously, they will take care of everybody that goes in the 7 Mile Casino, whether you're coming in for lunch, a drink, whatever it is. If you're sitting down to play California style blackjack, they treat you the same. Check it out for yourself. The convenience is what we love the most. 7 Mile Casino is just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
You can tune into the Manager's Report with Mike Schilt this Friday at 9 a.m. here on Ben & Woods. The Manager's Report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925.
Should be a fun conversation.
Or you can just drink tap water out of bottles in the fridge.
That's right.
At Woods' parents' house. That's the other option. I think with Mike Schilt coming on Friday, that'll obviously be game one of the home series against the Dodgers. There will be some interesting questions for the skipper. And, we will be, as we always are, very respectful of the man. He has earned, I think, a lot of respect here in San Diego with the job he has done these last couple of years. But there are questions, and we'll see what he does the next 4 days as well.
I had people tweeting me Saturday in the middle of the inning, the middle of the game, fire Mike Schilt, fire Mike Schilt, fire Mike Schilt. Like, whoa, wow.
That's crazy.
It's a very short memory that we have. I mean, team made up 9 games in 6 weeks, which is no small feat. But listen, it's a very what have you done for me lately business, as we know.
All right, we've got Craig Elston standing by. See what he thinks about that ugly weekend in L.A. That's coming up right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Caltrans, reminding you of work on the 805 through 2027. Well, speaking of the 805, northbound side before Nobel, accident involving several vehicles. No lanes blocked, got a couple vehicles in the center divide, and looks like a couple of vehicles over to the right shoulder. And southbound 805, just past La Jolla Village Drive, we're getting reports of some sort of wood debris in middle lanes. Southbound 15, just past Arrow Drive, a ladder in the fast lane. Caltrans reminds you that they are working on $54 million in improvements to northern central San Diego with the 805 drainage and surface infrastructure project stretching from the 5 to the 52 through the year 2027. Please plan accordingly. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now, I forgot he doesn't have open music. We need to get Craig some open music here. Is Craig Elston, Padres Hot Tub Podcast, Cromaniacs, and Crossing Streams. Good morning, Craig. We're all a little flustered after what happened this weekend.
Understandable, guys. As we like to say, and is now available on a Padres Hot Tub mug that you can buy on our website. Baseball is stupid and no one should watch. And
100%.
It's never been truer than this weekend.
No, it's the worst sport of all time. I don't know why we do this to ourselves every year, but I did see Craig. I mean, obviously, when you play the Dodgers and you lose, you kind of fumble the bag. Really, all 3 games, there was stuff that you could look to and say, "Yeah, that's not Padres baseball." Give me kind of your overarching thoughts. The sun did rise this morning. Everyone's life will continue, and you got a series against the Giants you should win. But have you calmed down much since yesterday?
Yeah, the only time I was upset was the first 2 innings on Saturday, to be honest. And I turned that game off in the middle of the second inning and went to go watch something way, way better, the San Diego Wave, picking up a huge win over Bay FC that night. That was a much more pleasant watch down the line. The Padres played competitive games on Friday and Sunday. The team went 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position. Manny failed basically at everything. The entire weekend.
Yeah, every opportunity.
He got 1 hit and got thrown out at second base, seconds later. So, just a disaster series for a couple of players on the Padres. A tiny bit of perspective. When we met this time last week, the Padres were 2 games out of first place, and they achieved neutrality last week. They are now still 2 games out of first place. So, in reality, that's probably a result a lot of us would have taken, getting started on a 6-game road trip through the division to come back having not lost any ground. And it could have just played a different way and been exactly the same. Nonetheless, obviously a missed opportunity and a deep reminder that for all the talk that LA has about, the Padres are so singularly focused on us, that's projection, gang. The Dodgers are singularly focused on the Padres. And they are a team that has spent $500 million in order to create an NBA-style regular season where they play at about 35% capacity the entire year, with the exception of our games, when they either have to get up for a game or when we come to town or they come to our town and they get up for us. And their only goal is to put their best playoff roster out there a week before the season ends and be a killer in the playoff. And I think that was a reminder this week. LA gets up for us even more than we get up for them.
That is true. Craig makes an excellent point. In terms of strategically, the Dodgers do a lot more strategically against the Padres than the Padres alter their plans. Mike Schilt doesn't alter his plans really at all. He just goes the Dodger series is just like a Giant series, is just like a Rocky series, and they take every game like 1 of 162. The Dodgers, they punt a lot of games throughout the year. They'll throw bad pitchers and not their best bullpen arms because they really don't care. But in the games against the Padres, they will go with the highest leverage matchups, the best arms. They were able to work it. So these 6 games, they got 6 of their best starting pitchers going in this series. The Padres don't do it that way. It's really, you're right, Craig. It's the Dodgers who absolutely circle these games on their calendar more than the Padres do.
They do, and they know that they have the ability to do it because they literally spend twice as much money as any other team in Major League Baseball. I guarantee you half the relievers that are on their injured list right now could pitch. If they needed them to come out and throw a game tomorrow, they could pitch. But they're like, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Wait. We'll pick you up 2 weeks from September, and we'll go away. Padres fans should not panic about this. I want to get into 2 things real quick, and I know we're going to talk SDFC. First, for each of the last 4 seasons, the Padres playoff odyssey was guaranteed to run into LA because LA was sitting with the best record in the league. And so it was like, well, that's cool. You're a wild card. You're going to win a series and then you're going to play LA. They don't have to do that this year. The way things are shaking right now, San Diego could play Chicago in the first round of the playoffs, maybe as the home team, right? You're just a couple of games, a nice little push away from getting back to that 4 spot. You could play Chicago with home field advantage in the first round, take on Milwaukee in the second round, which I know they've won 11 out of their last 8 games. They're just ridiculous how they're playing. But look at their team, look at our team. You're going to feel okay in a Milwaukee series. The Dodgers could be on the other side of the bracket for the first time this decade and maybe just lose to Philly or the Mets. And you could have a path through where you don't even see LA. So people should keep in mind, it's not inevitable. Oh, well, we're just going to lose to LA. You could actually not face them. But there are some things that you can take away from this series that the Padres front office and coaching staff could act upon. And number one for me is, and I heard you guys talking about it earlier in the hour, you cannot trust Dylan Cease in a playoff game. The stage is too big for the man. The Padres playoff rotation going into the playoffs needs to be Pivetta, King, Darvish. And it might be Cortez 4. Cease might be a long man on the. Yeah. Now, and I know they're not going to do it. Okay, that's the next thing I'm going to bring up. I know they're not going to do either. Would you rather see a
bullpen game even over Cease?
Yes. Dylan Cease is an automatic loss when you pitch him in the playoffs. He does. Every pitch on Saturday was either completely non-competitive out of the zone or middle.
Well, I would push back and say that what Paulie said. I think every game's a bullpen game in the playoffs. Essentially, you do not have to stick with your starter in any game. And Dylan Cease will pitch for the Padres in the playoffs, but it may not be more than 2 or 3 innings, whether it's, the first 3 or, you can have him out of the bullpen. I think the Padres treat the playoffs this year, Craig, like every game is essentially a bullpen game with the number of days off, your high leverage arms. You'd be crazy not to use all of those guys in almost every game, at least for the first 2 rounds, when there's plenty of days off, you'd be crazy not to use them in every single game.
Oh, absolutely. And they will. And I agree with that. But I don't necessarily like falling behind 3 or 4-0 because we started Dylan Cease just to, give him his opportunity. We need to be less precious about the players that are leaving our team at the end of the year. Yes. Okay. Dylan Cease is leaving this team at the end of the year. We don't need to worry about his ego. Now, the true fatal flaw of the San Diego Padres this season is probably power. They're second to last in the league in home runs. They lost yesterday. The Dodgers got all their runs on homers. And since June 1st, Fernando Tatis Jr. has hit 4 homers in 300 at-bats. 300
Good God.
at bats. So now I truly believe, will reveal at the end of the year that he has been playing with injury and that he has actually just completely revamped his game because he knows he can't hit home runs right now. He physically can't do it. And so he's become a great leadoff hitter and a tremendous defender for this team. There's no slight on FTJ. I think he's hurt. But
shoulder maybe or something like that?
Or maybe the result of one of those hit by pitches. Maybe it did something into his wrist or his hand. Okay. But he is your number one power source on this team. And it's unplugged. It's unplugged. So you could just lose in the playoffs because you don't have enough power, which leads to number 3. Objectively, Luis Arraez should not be starting on this team. This team would be better off with Ryan O'Hearn and Gavin Sheets in the lineup every day. That would increase the power of this lineup significantly. And O'Hearn is by yards and miles a better defender at first base than Luis Arraez. Again, I know they are not going to do it. They're going to keep Luis in the 2 spot. They're going to keep him at first base. And he's going to play there every day until the end of the year when he is a free agent and he leaves this team. But it's not the best objective lineup for San Diego. They're better off with more power, with O'Hearn batting second and Sheets in there in the DH spot and Laureano as well. Now, that's a move they could make. They're not gonna, but they could, just like they could devalue Dylan Cease's pressure innings in the playoffs. They probably won't, but they could. And those are 2 moves that would improve San Diego's opportunity to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. And what better time than the present right now, Craig? Now, let's get to some SDFC because that's a team that has not disappointed us. And I know we only got a few minutes left, but let's get to another huge road win.
Unbelievable, guys. And Marcus Ingvartsen is the player this year that has had the most star-crossed season for San Diego FC. Supposed to be their center forward, supposed to be one of their leading attackers for the year. Starts the season injured, barely plays, then misses multiple months, finally gets back in the lineup. He subbed in yesterday in the 67th minute, comes up with the huge header in the box to tie things up, and then a beautiful pass to Spring Dreyer on the counterattack for that goal. 2 goals in the 80th, 82nd, 86th minute. SDFC wins, and now they are tied with FC Cincinnati with 52 points for the most points in MLS. They've got a real shot at Supporters Shield in their first year. But guys, they're 1 win away from setting the MLS record for wins in a season by an expansion team. I think they're 5 points from setting the all-time points record for an expansion team. They're going to blow those numbers out of the water. And as mentioned, Wave won up in that very same stadium, PayPal Stadium up there in San Jose, 2-1 on Saturday night. So both of our pro soccer teams in great position. SDFC first place, Wave knocking at top 3. It's a really exciting summer for San Diego sports. We got a great baseball team, 2 great soccer teams. This weekend, back for the baseball team, but just an incredible summer for our sport.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Craig. I believe either you mentioned it or Darren mentioned it. In the playoffs in MLS, if you finish first, and SDFC now has a bit of a cushion even in the Western Conference, do you get a bye or you get to face a team that has to basically play a wild card team essentially coming in the first round? It's an advantage to finish first for sure.
Well, it's a huge advantage. It's akin to the NFL now, Ben, because 9 teams make the playoffs. So 2 will face 9, 3 will face 8,
and you get a bye.
And one just sits out the first round. So it's a gigantic advantage, and of course, being home is a gigantic advantage. But maybe not for SDFC. They are 6-0 in their last 6 games away. So maybe they're doing too good for their own good.
And, of course, now you're going to have, the football team playing on that field with the Wave, with SDFC, going to change the conditions at Snapdragon Stadium the rest of the season as well. So we'll keep an eye on that, especially starting these next couple of weeks.
Guys, a quick plug on my way out. This week's Padres Hot Tub, we recorded it yesterday. I don't know if you guys know Drew Deckman, the celebrity chef.
Oh, yeah,
he
Deckman.
owns
He's
30,
got Petco.
Yes, he's got the restaurant at Petco. Joe Musgrove is the co-owner of his 3131 restaurant in North Park. A 6-time Michelin star chef, huge Padres fan. He was our guest yesterday on Padres Hot Tub. So, after we get done bitching about the Dodgers on the show, stay tuned because it's just an incredible conversation with someone who has made cooking his life's passion and pursuit. I am fascinated by celebrity chefs.
You fired.
Well, you cooked today,
oh,
Craig.
yeah.
Excellent.
You fired up
work.
the chat, Craig.
See you next Monday.
Outstanding appearance by Craig Elston this morning. He brought the heat as we imagined. Okay, we'll come back as Woods teased. He's got the list.
I got the list.
Gary's list. I can't wait to hear what is on this list. When we come back, hour number 3. Ben and Woods continuing here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, the sky is officially falling in San Diego, and there's a lot of Chicken Little running around this morning. I understand it totally. I hate losing to those guys. Imagine what my DMs look like. Holy crap! It's bananas. But listen, life goes on. Got another series. Got to figure out a way to beat the Giants now, who are really not playing for much. You know what I mean? But except to embarrass you and ruin your season. So we need to get after it. It starts again tonight at Petco Park. Game time where I am in Texas is 8:40 p.m. So that's going to be a fun scene. I'm sure I'll be able to get a nap today, but I am home in Texas visiting my family. My dad had surgery, so I wanted to brighten his spirits a little bit. And so he's here kind of ambling around the house. He's in the other room listening to the show, and he's going to love this segment. I'll tell you what. I am Woodsy, Paul Reindl, the executive producer, Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. All the stuff we've done on this program for years, this is one that gets a lot of reaction. I've done the story a couple of times, but, we all remember being kids and HBO, doing the free weekend. Like free weekend, HBO all weekend. And my dad, who would never pay the $9 for HBO, whatever it was, wanted the movies, but just was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to pay that money. And so he would run out to Best Buy and spend, by the way, way more than $9 on VCR tapes. And he would sit for 72 hours. I swear to God, he would take a day off work. Maybe the Friday. I think he would take the Friday off of work. Even it was like
sorry, boss.
I
got a long weekend ahead of me.
Yeah. Wait. What are you doing? HBO free weekend. I'm gonna be here. And so he would get those tapes in, and it would be like watching an artist, like Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel. That's my dad on HBO free weekend, and he'd have the TV guide out, and he is just like the scientist, figuring it all out. And he would tape all the movies, and then he would record them on this yellow legal pad. And that legal pad would float around my house. You'd always kind of see it on the table when he'd get it out. And it was hysterical. So I asked him when I got home yesterday. I go, do you have the list? He goes, I don't think I have that list because obviously VCR tapes, went the way of the dinosaur, and he got rid of all of them. And so I'm looking at it going, okay. He goes, but I did find this, and he brings me in another handwritten list, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's like 4 movies on the last one, filled top to bottom. And I said, well, what is this one? And he goes, I don't know. I go, what do you mean you don't know? I go, what? So I started looking at it, and I started looking at what he's got listed. And one thing he used to do too, because he's notorious for this, he would categorize all of his stuff to make sure my brother and I weren't like out selling VCR tapes on the black market or something. Like, hey, anybody need Weird Science? Anybody? I got Weird Science here. Yeah, it's got the HBO free weekend across the bottom of it. But so he would track it.
Steel Magnolias. Who wants it?
Yeah,
Who
Steel
wants
Magnolias.
it?
He would go look to be like, where's tape number 69? I'm looking for that. I don't see it. But this is just a list. This is just a list.
Well, let's go through this
of movies.
But it starts a list of what? I mean, you said he doesn't really know, but ones he's watched, ones he's recorded on digital. What? It's just why is there a list?
I see it says movies at the top, and then there's series. There's a column here. Series. Look at Mad Men, Sopranos, Breaking Bad. So Breaking Bad was airing like 10 years ago.
Yeah. So he's done this fairly recently.
And they're all Seinfeld 24.
But they're all scratched out.
So did he write down, because when you scroll down, there's a bunch of other movies now that are not crossed out. He never maybe he wrote down all the movies and shows that he wanted to record and then crossed out the ones that he got. Like crossed
maybe
out
or
own.
Because I remember buying him the Sopranos box set, and so he had it and he scratched through it. Seasons 1 through 6 part 2. I don't even know what that is. Godfather scratched out. Homeland scratched out. Maybe it's the DVDs that he collected, but we don't really use DVDs anymore either. But he's got all these.
He never got around to Dave Chappelle's Chappelle Show season 2.
Are these movies that he's seen? Like, would somebody write down the movies that they have seen?
Well, how can you not have seen like Aaron Brockovich? You have to have seen Aaron Brockovich, right?
Dad. See if he's in there. See if he can
he's
come
seen.
in.
Why is Footloose / Flashdance an entry? They're not the same movie.
Entry?
Yeah, right here. Footloose.
Purple Rain and Fame. Cheaper by the dozen. Dad, all right, come here. Everybody wants to know. Here's my dad, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and put him on. Nobody sit down in the chair.
Okay, we've got Gary Woods on the line.
Oh, boy.
Gary,
it's good to see you.
Boy.
We are all sending good thoughts your way as on your road to recovery.
How you doing, Gary?
Thank you kindly. Doing okay. Moving a little slowly, but not too bad.
This list, though, has piqued my interest because I'm usually pretty good at like puzzles and games. And like you give me I can relate. What do all these things have in common? I do the New York Times connections every single day. This list doesn't make sense. It can't be movies you haven't seen because there's movies you absolutely have seen on there, but you can't. Have you watched all of these movies? Why are you writing them down?
I have them categorized by movies that I bought from when I wanted to see. Some of them were moved from VHS to DVD. So
wait, did you have one of those like recorders where you could take it from the tape to move to the DVD so you would like hold on to some of these when the VCR went away?
Yeah, I couldn't lose them, so I had to figure out some way to keep them.
We're talking about years of your life spent to this craft of bootlegging DVDs.
And I may not have seen any of these movies for about 8 years. But I have them all categorized and I've got them all listed. So that anybody that needed a movie, they could just go on this list and say, boy, I would love to see Cable Guy. So let's
so this tells you that you have the list, but there's no reference as to what tape or where it's on. It just that it does exist somewhere in your universe, apparently.
Correct. The DVDs are located in different areas around the house.
So you start here and then you go on the scavenger. Well, I know for a fact that we have American Psycho in the house. So now we can go on the scavenger hunt to find American Psycho, and I don't have to just download it off Apple TV or anything.
Correct. And there's some that are located strategically because like Christmas Vacation we watch every year. The other ones like Cable Guy might be anywhere. So the hunt would go to try to find where that might be if you wanted to watch it.
Did you want to run a Blockbuster out of your basement or something? Like if your buddies were like, hey, do you have Home Alone 2? Yeah, actually I do. It'll be $5. You have 48 hours to watch. And by the way, please be kind and rewind.
Absolutely. That was, and I usually could get 3 movies on one tape. So that was always key.
Oh, the 3 for 1.
3 for 1.
That's a hell of a deal.
A tape, you might. Absolutely.
Have you ever gone back and watched Home Alone 3 again? Because it really wasn't worth recording or even watching in the first place.
I actually taped over Caddyshack 2 because it was so bad.
Fair enough. Yeah,
that's a good move.
So there's been some taping over for ones that we saw, and they were just horrible movies.
Is that why those were crossed out? The ones that were crossed out, were they taped over, or you just did watch them enough that we're just, why are we crossing? The tape got damaged in some way.
No, those were the ones that were the serious ones got moved into the DVD closet.
I see. Okay.
So they're in a. I know where those are. The other movies could be anywhere.
All right. All 22 James Bond movies, very nice. Batman, there's a lot of different Batman varieties, but just Batman in general. Gary, you're a gem.
Good, some bad.
You're an absolute treasure. I mean, this is incredible stuff. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Whew, that's a good one. Just because it's such a staple, probably Christmas Vacation has got to be up there. I think we know, and Stephen and my other son Brent, they probably know every line to that movie. Caddyshack. I mean, most of the
Gary,
Rodney
I literally
movies
quoted
were
it like an
pretty good.
hour ago. I quoted Christmas Vacation. We were talking about the players in the MLB Little League game. They did the high five line. It's, hey, happy, Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his ass.
The gift that keeps on giving the whole year round.
I feel weird saying ass to Gary.
Well, yeah, you should.
Like my dad.
Gary, again, thank you for being you, and continue your recovery. How surprised were you when your son showed up yesterday?
Well, shocked was an understatement. It was the best surprise I could have gotten. It lifted my spirits tremendously. So I was grateful and grateful for Hannah. I know she's got her hands full with 2 boys. So it was a very pleasant surprise.
She's watching on YouTube. I just saw her in the chat, so she's watching you right now.
Well, she's a gem, and we love her to death. And again, appreciate her allowing Stephen to come. It's been a spirit uplifter for sure.
Gary, thank you so much. All right, put the doofus back on the line.
Love you guys, and
love you too,
show is
Dad.
always great.
Love you too.
Hope
Gary
you take care,
Woods,
guys.
everybody, the man who
Amazing.
characterizes every single movie he has ever watched and has on tape
fantastic.
or DVD somewhere in the house. Not necessarily knows where it is, but it's somewhere in the house is what we've
List is
learned.
most
incredible.
The most impeccable handwriting that I've ever seen.
It's
Paulie,
elite.
you have it's elite handwriting. Thanks, Popsy. Do you have, Paulie, the picture that I sent you from the newspaper as well,
yes.
Ben? You'll get a very, very big kick out of this. I remember this from Thursday, October 17th, 1991. I believe that would put me as a sophomore in high school. There it is on the cover of the Simsbury News.
Crap.
Yep, there's your old pal Woodsy. If you can't see it in the chat, you wish you could, because that is me on the top of a float with a Corona Extra shirt on, by the way, tucked in, full Ben Higgins style, T-shirt tucked into the jeans, just having a ball up on this parade float.
Members
And,
of the junior class at Simsbury High School show their Trojan spirit as their float makes its way around the football field during the school's homecoming celebration Saturday.
Yeah, no question, dude. I was in the Andrew McCarthy era with the glasses and the whole thing.
I would not have let
thing.
my kids wear a Corona Extra shirt when they were
Man,
underage.
well, I mean, I know. I don't know that my parents knew what Corona Extra was, though, at the time. So I don't think they knew. I don't think they had any idea what Corona Extra was.
Now,
but yeah, man.
We've been together as a show. What is this? Eighth year here? Now,
yeah.
Did you know, Ben, that Woods was a Trojan?
I did not know that Woods was a Trojan growing up.
Wow,
Yeah.
you kind of left that
I
little
was.
detail out in the whole time that we've known you.
I was a Mustang when I graduated, so that's what I call it. But yeah, it's a bad. Ben, do you look at that picture and think to yourself, how did he get girls in high school and I didn't?
That's a good question. It doesn't even look like you to me. Honestly, I don't even see the resemblance necessarily. Why is I don't know. You just look so skinny.
Yeah, skinny. Uh-huh.
Yeah, what happened?
Are you wearing glasses or are your eyes just hollow?
Yes.
You wore glasses back then.
Wore glasses, and I mean, those, honestly, bro, those were probably prescriptionless, if I had to guess. That was my, like I said,
that looked cool.
Correct. It is unbelievable, man. Holy cow.
I mean, we need to get this.
You look
framed.
like you're out of a John Hughes movie or something right there.
That's what I was just gonna say. Andrew McCarthy era,
there you go.
man. It was a real thing.
Is this just a picture of the newspaper? Do you have the actual newspaper anywhere?
No, that's just a photocopy of the newspaper, man.
Got it. Damn.
Thank you, Dominic. Says I look like Jared from Subway. Well, luckily we don't have the same proclivities, and never did. But holy cow, that hurts. Dominic's
all of
my
a
boy,
sudden,
too.
the Kevin James comparison doesn't feel as bad.
It feels much better. It feels much better. Yeah, that's my junior year right there. Look at those arms. I mean, 4 inches around. Bo's arms are bigger now. He's 7 years old. Whew, man. Well, memory lane is certainly a fun one. Benny, you're going to split after Take on Woods, yeah?
Correct, yes. And you got Dennis
All right.
Lynn coming up at the bottom of the hour
Yep.
and some round of reports. So I'm going to go check on my son, meet with the doctors. But we will do Take on Woods next. So if you want to be our contestant, you got a chance to qualify for the great prize, grand prize getaway to Las Vegas. Call in during our break, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Our musical trivia contest versus Woods is coming up next here with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I get a chance to tell you about Prize Picks. This is a great time. If you have not signed up for daily fantasy sports with Prize Picks yet, this is the perfect time. Baseball pennant races, football season getting underway. You can put together lineups any day of the week with your favorite stars, and you're just picking against stat projections, picking against the numbers more or less. In baseball, for your team, the San Diego Padres team, they are the official daily fantasy sports partner of the San Diego Padres at Prize Picks. Go on your pitching staff, more or less than 5.5 strikeouts for a starter, more or less than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI for one of your players in the lineup. Put those together between 2 and 6 players and win real money. It's just that simple. Same thing with football on the weekends, college, pro football getting underway. This was the last Saturday without college football of the year this past Saturday. So you got football the rest of the way, and you can play with Prize Picks. Just make sure when you download the Prize Picks app, you use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Check it out today. Prize Picks, run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. Calling all parents and teachers at Staples, your back-to-school budget is officially saved by the button. The easy button with supplies as low as 25 cents, plus laptops up to 40% off and more details on top brands and trending styles. Find it all at Staples. That was easy, and that was a lot of fun getting to talk to Gary there, Woods' dad, in our last segment. Thank you for ceding your microphone, Woods, to your dad for a few minutes.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And now you get to put the microphone down again for a minute as we play today's game of Take on Woods. All right, Take on Woods is brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and he always gets in at least once a month. Let's welcome Guy back to the program. Hello, Guy.
Hey, good morning.
Good prize this month. I'm not surprised you want to try to qualify. The getaway for two to the Resorts World Las Vegas, 2 nights, 2 VIP expedited admission passes to the AU Day Club, and a $175 food and beverage credit. Check out their summer rates at rwlasvegas.com. No resort fees, complimentary parking right now. All right, here are your category choices for our musical trivia challenge. We got My Way or the Highway. Songs with highway somewhere in the title. New bands, which are bands with the word new in them, not actual new bands necessarily. And our new category, Brown and Gold. It's all 2-second songs that either brown or gold in honor of Padres colors. So, My Way or the Highway, new bands, or Brown and Gold. Guy, what would you like to play?
Let's give the brown and gold a shot.
All right. All right. In honor of Padres colors, we've got another all 2-second song edition of Take on Woods with songs that include either brown or gold in each title. You'll have 60 seconds to identify as many of the 5 songs as possible. Remember, you need to give me both the title and the artist. And I'm talking to everybody else because, Guy, I know you know how this game works. You go first. Woods goes second. If you beat or tie him, you will qualify for the grand prize to Las Vegas. Paulie, you got everything ready?
I got everything.
Guy, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. 60 seconds on the clock. Again, the category is brown and gold. Guy, your time begins when Paul plays our first song. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
That's Brown Sugar, the Stones.
Correct. Song number 2.
That's Fleetwood Mac or Stevie Nicks. Silver and Gold.
Incorrect. Go. Song number 3.
Brown Eyed Girl, Van Morrison.
Correct. Song number 4.
Heart of Gold by Neil Young.
Correct. Song number 5.
Don't You Make My Brown Eyes Blue, Crystal Gale.
Very good. We got 4 out of 5. Nicely done. The only one you missed there was Gold Dust Woman by Fleetwood Mac. But nicely done, guys. Stay on hold. Text Woods and get him to come back to the headphones so he can now hear what's going on. All right, Woods is going to get the same 5 songs in the same 60 seconds. It's an all 2-second song category, but no category name for you to make it a little tougher. Guy's score is locked in.
Oh.
I know, it's Guy. So you know you got to be on your game. 60 seconds on the clock, Woods. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Guy.
It's Rolling Stones. I'll come back to it.
Song number 2.
That's The Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
That is incorrect. Song number 3.
Oh. It's Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison.
Correct. Song number 4.
That's Heart of Gold by Neil Young.
Correct. Song number 5.
What the hell? What is the category of this song? Go back to
song number 1.
Stones. Yeah. Dun dun dun. Oh no. I'm crapping the bed all over myself. This is it. I'm like with San Diego Padres right now in Chavez Ravine. I really am. I don't know.
Category might help today. Yeah. Guy wins it 4-2. Padres colors, brown and gold. We got Brown Sugar.
Okay, so that was Brown Sugar.
We got Gold Dust Woman, not The Chain. Similar
Gold
starts, but that was Gold Dust Woman. Brown Eyed Girl, Heart of Gold, and Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue by Crystal Gale was that last one. Guy, congratulations. Hang on the line. Paulie will get all your information here and put you into the drawing for Las Vegas.
Brutal. I'm not reading the chat. I had the chat minimized. I certainly would have
Obviously,
done a lot better if I had the chat up. Jesus Christ.
Cheating, he would have performed much
the worst
better
cheater
than that.
I've ever seen.
I would have been so good. All right. Well, that sucks. That's
all right.
Paulie, we got Dennis Lynn coming up next. There was a little report, and people got very upset about it. Manny Machado got in a car after the game, and I want to ask D-Lynn about that. You can't get in a car after the game. Did not speak to the media, which I don't like. I don't like that at all. I think you do need to talk to the media after even a very frustrating win. So loss. We'll ask him about that. Benny, you're gonna split.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on my son. Hopefully everything will be okay, and I will see y'all guys tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
All right, thanks, Pally. Good luck to you guys.
Take care, everybody, and we will see you later. Dennis Lynn coming up next. Don't go away. Ben and Woods continuing on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Got another DM last night from a guy whose wife, her shoulder is driving her crazy. Asked me again, what's the name of that company you always talk about with joint pain? It's QC Kinetics. I'll tell you guys again. My wrist is feeling so much better. I may not even have to go back in for another treatment. I jammed it a few weeks ago, but a few years ago, my wrists were inflamed. They were terrible. I didn't know what was happening. I was really hoping I did not have to get wrist surgery on both wrists. Went to QC Kinetics, got the treatment. It's been a godsend for me. So if you jumped out of bed this morning, not jumped, if you creaked out of bed this morning in your knees, your back, your shoulders screaming at you, just give them a call today. They will do a free, no pressure chat with you, a thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate for what it is they do. Their regenerative treatments work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. You guys have heard of PRP, right? Platelet-rich plasma, and they put it right back in your body. I mean, athletes around the world are doing this. Certainly would work for you. Give them a call. Locations in Hillcrest and Torrey Hills, 619-614-PAIN is their number, 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics. Again, give them a call. Let them know Woodsy sent you over there with your pain. 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, welcome back to Ben and Woods on a Monday, a morose Monday, if you will, certainly. Not very fun, losing 3 straight to the Dodgers, who'd been scuffling. But, again, we've talked about it. You got some more opportunities. What can the San Diego Padres do with it? We'll talk to Dennis Lynn from The Athletic after this quick check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Well, guys, still a few problems here. Hit and run crash northbound 805 before Home Avenue. Tow truck is helping to clear that out of the HOV lane. We also have reports of a collision on the Waite Drive on-ramp to westbound King Freeway. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben and Woods Lynn Sider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks, it gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
And joining us now from The Athletic is our pal Dennis Lynn. D. Lynn, good morning to you, my friend. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It's not a great Monday for the Padres, but yeah.
No, not a great Monday at all. You picked a hell of a time to have what you categorized as the worst game of the season, and I think we could probably all agree Saturday night was the worst game of the season by far. You had Blake Snell on the ropes a little bit there in the early goings, the first inning, and I can't remember the last time I saw 3 guys thrown out at second base, Dennis, in 1 inning or whatever. 3 caught stealings. That was pretty bananas. What happened there? Like, why try that there?
Yeah, I can't remember that either. I think this goes back to 2023 when Blake and Mike Schilt established a very close relationship when Mike was the Padres, I guess, senior advisor / interim third base coach. But yeah, they spent a lot of time together, and it's not like it's just because of that relationship, but it's well known around the league that Blake is someone you can run on. And I think if you look back to that 23 season again, he had, I think, only 1 caught stealing when he was on the mound and 25 stolen bases. So you could see the logic. And he won the Cy Young, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he tripled it in 1 inning. Incredible, absolutely incredible work. Obviously, and it doesn't help when your starting pitcher Dylan Cease comes out and pitches the way that he does, Dennis. And there's a kind of a byline in your story that says the Dodgers are in the Padres' heads, and I noticed that as well. And I saw it Friday, and I tweeted about it because I always will. Dave Roberts said, "Hey, it's just another game for us. They seem hyper focused and hyper fixated on us." You saw some of the national reporters talking about it too. I thought it was a little bit odd the way that it was couched. But man, the Padres are really going for it here in the 6th inning with using Jeremiah Estrada. And I'm like, no, that's just what the Padres do. I don't know, man. There is something psychological between Dave Roberts and Mike Schilt, it seems.
I would agree. I guess in the Padres' defense, like how many low leverage relievers do they really have? They kind of have to throw all these guys at some point. But yeah, I mean, I think if you look at this series and the way they played and just how uncharacteristic some of that stuff is compared to, just coming off that shellacking of the Giants, it's hard not to notice that maybe this team, there's a little something there, the pressing, whether it's Dylan Cease not being able to find his release point, like from the very first inning and, just looking like he's miserable out there to surrenders in scoring position and the inability to come up with kind of big hits that the Dodgers seem to just pull out of their, like whenever they need it. And they were not having a great series or a great month coming into this series. And they just lost, a series to the Angels, who they went 0-6 against this season. So it's hard not to notice that there's these disparities between when the Dodgers play other teams and when they play the Padres. And I don't know if it's really true that they're not also, focusing on the Padres, but Padres certainly got them right. So that says something about both teams, I think.
I think, saying it in the media, if you're Dave Roberts, is a really smart move. Putting the onus back on the San Diego Padres. It's good psychology. No, we're just playing it. And he didn't. You saw how he configured his lineup, not doing left, right, left. He went left, right, right, left, because he was, frankly, didn't want to mess with Adrian Morejon. And he, for whatever reason, has gotten in the Padres players' heads. It seems they have a 8-2 record against us this season, and best you can do is 8-5 against that team up north, who is not having the greatest season. They're not having the 120 win season we all predicted, Dennis. But Mike Schild, somebody put in the chat, and I think I might agree with this, and see if you do. It says his loyalty is his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. And listen, nothing's been happening. Nothing's happened yet. Nobody's won the World Series yet. Nobody's lost it. But do you get that sense when it comes to the guys that he plays every day and the way that he puts them out there? Do you get that sense too that no, I'm not going to mess with this thing?
I do, and I think I'm not the only one who's noticed. There are people with the team, for example, who wonder, if it's time to move Luis Ariz down the lineup. He's obviously been pretty much a fixture in that number 2 hole all season, and you've got Robbie Ray going tonight for the Giants. So lefty and lefty, Ariz has not been great against lefties. I think the fact that Jackson Merrill is probably not going to play tonight, I would think, and Gavin Sheets is going to get in there, and Ryan O'Hearn's probably going to get in there some way, shape, or form. Maybe they do shake it up tonight, but yes, Mike's reputation as a players manager is well known throughout the league, not only here, St. Louis. He's always been that way, and I think that's playing out right now. But if you want to win and you care more about winning than maybe ego management, which is also a huge part of the job, I think this is going to be a really telling lineup tonight. But it's gotten Mike National League Manager of the Year award, and it's gotten to the playoffs multiple times. So you can see why he's stuck by his methods. But I think there is a time for sticking by your methods and sticking to what got you here. But there's also time for flexibility in service of, trying to win it all.
Is it is stubborn the right word? I don't know. Is it the not wanting to upset the apple cart? Because again, it's hard because, Schilte will tell us, and we believe him when he says it, every guy in that locker room wants to win a championship. And, it comes with, you have to be unselfish at times. And I think Gavin Sheets is a great example. I think Ryan O'Hearn's been a great example. When he signed here, he said, use me however you need me to use me. And I think now, you trade for an all-star. I'd like to see him get some more ABs. And, somebody put in our chat earlier, well, he's, 6 for whatever he is. And I said, well, he's not getting the ABs that he's accustomed to getting. Let's let some of the best players get out there and eat right now without worrying about, crushing feelings down the road. Because if you're hoisting the trophy in October, that truly should be the only thing that matters.
Well, one thing I keep coming back to is this stood out to me throughout the weekend. And I know, again, they just killed the Giants right before, over the weekend.
Yeah.
But who are you really scared of in this lineup right now if you're an opposing pitcher? It seems like Ramon Laureano, and
that's it.
Maybe that's it. And right now, Manny and Fernando are not going to leave the top of the lineup in all likelihood. And I think we all totally get that. But if you're going to, put Luis Ariz in between them, that kind of complicates things because, hitters aren't scared of him right now. So how do you shake this up to where, your best hitters, your most dangerous hitters are getting the most plate appearances, and maybe Ramon Laureano, factors into that. But yeah, I think we all know how much Schilte likes his right, left kind of combination, almost regardless of the pitching matchup. But yeah, I think it's time to really reconsider some of these things. And he's not the type to overreact, which he shouldn't be. But again, I think there are all these questions that kind of swirl in all of our minds, especially as the Padres try to position themselves best for October.
Yeah, no question. Talking to Dennis Lynn from The Athletic here on Ben and Woods. Let's talk about Manny for a second. Manny having a pretty terrible August, as it were. 1 RBI in the month of August, which is, that's just not going to get it. It's not going to get it done, man. It's just not going to. I don't know that he's hurt. He's out there every day. Certainly, we always appreciate that about Manny. And I did see a report after the game. He left, didn't talk to media, got in a car that was waiting for him. Is that standard, Dennis, from LA? Guy get their own ride home instead of jumping on the team bus or whatever. Is that something you've heard about? Do we need to make a big deal out of this, a bigger deal than it needs to be?
It's not universal, but it's also not uncommon, especially for a player of Manny's stature. So I'm not going to begrudge anyone, trying to get back to San Diego as soon as possible, try to flush this series. But, he does have a few more resources than some guys. But, I mean, like anyone on the team could literally get a car down to San Diego. So be interesting to see what Manny says maybe later today. But, yeah, I think he's on a 13-game streak of no RBIs, longest streak for him like that since I think shortly after the Dodgers traded for him in 2018. So he is going through it. I think he's being pitched tough. And again, maybe you can reconfigure your lineup a little bit so he's got a little more protection around him. But yeah, it's certainly not going to matter if, Fernando and Manny don't come through. And, Fernando, to his credit, stuck around after the game yesterday, said, I'm just not getting the ball in the air. And I think this is the longest homerless streak of his career, at least in terms of plate appearances, almost 100 plate appearances. So if you can get those two guys going, the lineup still looks a lot different. But I just wonder what else you can do around those guys to help them out.
Dennis, what about Jackson Merrill? Do you expect to see him in the lineup tonight?
I think the way he was talking after last night's game, he's obviously frustrated, threw some expletives in there, which you always appreciate the candor from Jackson.
Weird. I get in trouble when I do it, Dennis, so that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe you should get a 9-year, $135 million contract, Lizzie, and then you can say whatever you want.
That's true. That's fair enough.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, but Jackson, I would expect he's probably due for a day. Just how he was moving, how he was talking after the game, and how we saw him kind of limping around in the batter's box the last couple games. So it's not been a great season for him. Obviously, a lot of fluke injuries, as he put it. So I think it's time to give the youngster a break and hopefully get Gavin Sheets some more at bats.
It's why, Dennis, this series is a perfect example of why nobody knows anything. If you look at momentum, if you look at strengths and weaknesses, obviously the bottom of the Dodgers lineup had been terrible. They came through, right? The bullpen had been terrible. They came through. Alex Vesia getting the final 5 outs yesterday. I mean, give the guy credit. Like, he has not been good this year. Diaz, their closer, has been terrible. He got some big outs for them. Dave Roberts managed really, really well. And they got the long ball, 5 long balls in the series. And we don't, we just don't hit home runs right now. I see a lot of people upset about that. I hearken back to the days. I remember the days of doing this show when the San Diego Padres were built to, well, it looks like the guys are just waiting on the 3-run homer, right? And we're not moving the chain, and we need to move the chain. Well, now we move the chain, and everybody wants to hit home runs. It's certainly an interesting thing, and I agree with fans to be a little bit panicked. I agree that they should be a little bit upset because, until you win one, Dennis, they're always going to question your methods, always.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe the right approach, because until you prove it, it's still on you to go out and show you can do it. And the Padres out-hit the Dodgers in this series. They played 2 one-run games, so it could have gone either way, I guess you could argue, in the end. But yeah, the scoreboard, unfortunately, is what matters. And I think the Padres have lost like 5 consecutive series to the Dodgers since last October, and we all know how that had ended. So you got to kind of wipe away those ghosts from, the last playoffs. And until they do it, they have to show us they can do it.
That's exactly right, D-Lynn. Thank you so much for jumping on with us this morning. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Dennis Lynn from The Athletic got a great new piece up on The Athletic. Go check it out. But the psychological thing of it, Paulie, is what really, really fascinates me. And I said it on Friday. That was the thing I was looking most forward to seeing. And I guess I will give some credit to Schulte, because Dennis brings up a good point. Hey, man, guys were 1 for 25 that season off stealing off of Blake Snell. And so you're like, all right, let's try to exploit it. It didn't work. He threw out 3 guys, man, yeah. three guys in the same inning. And you just feel, with Dylan Cease on the bump, is that the right time to do it? I don't know, because Dylan had a real hard time locating, his pitches and really put us in a big hole. But yeah, what would that inning have looked like?
That kind of frustrates me a little bit more to know that was the strategy. Like there was a reason to the rhyme, or a rhyme to the reason, and like that was part of the plan going into it. So when Manny so clearly got in there on that one steal, I'm like, why wouldn't you waste the challenge? I know we talked about it, and I understand the debate. You're like, well, if the league office looks at it and they don't give you the call, then you've burned your challenge early in the first inning. And I'm going, I know, I understand it's a gamble, it's a risk, but if that was part of your plan, I would have like been all in. I would have just doubled down and said, no, we're going to challenge this.
Yeah. I mean, again, I thought he was in there. We were at an appearance, so it was it was hard to tell. Schulte said they did not have a good angle on it. So hey, man, you live and learn in that case. But these guys just need to relax, man. He needs to relax. They need to relax. Just relax. Take care of the Giants. You got Robbie Ray on the bump tonight, a guy that, you can handle Robbie Ray. I don't know, man. I just think at this point there was a little bit of tightness with those fellas this weekend up in L.A. And, until you beat the champs, you can never be the champs. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm bummed about it, pissed about it, like everybody out there. But, good news about baseball. We got another game today. We'll talk about that. We got a roundel report coming up as well.
Ooh, I did some homework.
Oh, yeah, what do you got?
I did some homework earlier in the show. Ben may have said a naughty word, and I went and pulled the audio. We never revisited that, so maybe we can do that next.
We'll do that next, right here on Ben and Woods 97.3 The Fan. Welcome back, Ben and Woodwoods, 97.3 The Fan. Benny is had to go to the hospital. His son Jack is in the hospital, so he wanted to go make sure he's doing good. I think he's going to be able to get out today. Ben is going to. Ben took off for the last hour of the program. Me and Paulie holding it down. Going to have some fun with audio. I need some fun. My God, it's so morose in here.
Are you
Thanks
sure?
a lot.
Are you sure? We
Dave
made
Roberts.
at least one person very upset at 8:00 when we talked about the movie list and we put Gary on. It was,
Oh, we did? I didn't see that.
Let me
I
know
didn't
when the
see that.
Padres talk is back. Like, are you sure we're allowed to have fun today?
I wasn't looking at the chat because I was sitting in the chair across the room when my dad was on. But yeah, obviously we talked to, we talked about the Padres and the Dodgers series. I think enough. You can't change it. It's over. You got to move on and go out and beat the Giants. Roots wants to know if I'm in a trailer. I'm not in a trailer. My parents' home in Hideaway Lake, Texas. Now, this is really like the only wood in the house behind me. It's just a bookshelf. But no, they have a phenomenal house out here, out in the middle of nowhere. It's about 2 hours east of Dallas. So had to fly in yesterday, drove in, got the rental car, the whole thing, and traffic like crazy. My dad said there's like 4 million people moving into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and it's just they're not ready for it, man. So there is traffic everywhere, and there's construction everywhere. So I'm going to be here until Friday. Ryan did tweet me and say, hey, man, all of our best winning streaks have come with you out of San Diego. So I'm going to need you to stay in Texas until Monday. I'd love to go back and look at the record, and maybe I'll do that tonight of when I was gone, because I've been gone a lot, man. We went to Philly, went to England, went to Kauai, where we started playing some really good baseball. I did come home, and we continue to play good baseball. So I'm not going to take the fall for the Padres just crapping themselves against the Dodgers this weekend. I'm not going to wear that one, Ryan. I'm sorry, but I don't think it has much to do with my location. I think it has to do with execution and guys going out and doing what they're supposed to do, getting hits with runners in scoring position. But I'll tell you, Ryan, if you could guarantee me a World Series victory, I would stay here or somewhere until it happened. I would bring my family out, and we would just live here until it was over. But Paulie and I are going to have some fun with audio. This happened earlier in the program, and I noticed it. And Ben had a rough day yesterday. He spent the entire day. What time did he text us, Paulie?
Oh man, it was like
10 in the morning or something.
Yeah, I was at the Tier 1 baseball game, so it was 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he said, "Yeah, I'm at the hospital, probably going to be here most of, if not the entire day." And you were traveling. I mean, you were up at what, 2:30, 3 o'clock yesterday morning for the early
3
flight.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez,
Yep.
yeah, long day for both of you guys.
Long day, and he was sitting there all day long, and I'm telling you, man, it's finally caught up to me. I'm starting to get a little under the weather.
Yeah.
And my throat is starting to close up. It's great, man. I come to see my dad who's out of surgery, and I bring some sickness in. I had done 3 straight trips, felt great after everyone. Now I feel like sheer death. And it's should be a really fun week here on Ben and Woods. So I want the Padres at least to do their part, get everybody in a little bit better mood. But Ben was talking earlier, and you could tell he's a little frazzled this morning. He's a little bit wiped out, and he said this.
We were talking about the pitch clock, and you're like, "Did you actually say the word pitch, or did you say something else?" Paulie, pull the audio. I went and pulled it, and you be the judge.
I think it's about time we had a second challenge. We've sped up games with the pitch clock.
The bitch clock. I knew it. I knew he
sped up
said
games
that.
with the bitch clock. Sped up games with the bitch clock.
Hey, you don't even need to compare it.
The bitch clock.
It is so very obvious that he said it.
Yep, he did. He did.
Challenge. We've sped up games with the bitch clock.
The bitch clock.
I mean,
legendary.
P and B, they sound similar, but I hear bitch clock.
Yeah, it comes from him being probably pretty stressed about what's going on in his life, and having to head back to the hospital today. I hope that Jack is okay and he gets out. And if Ben wants to talk more about it, he absolutely can. It is weird being back in Texas. I will say, Paulie, I got to go yesterday to a Walmart in Lindale, Texas. And that was like
How was
one
that?
of the most. It is. It's a different world, man. It's a different world. I grew up here. I moved to California 15 years ago. I will always live in California, but it's different. I will put it that way. I had to go buy an Ethernet cable. It's 75 feet long. It's the longest thing you've ever seen. Just in case things get a little bit wonky here.
Well, you went there. You went there because you and I, like we did when you went to Hawaii, we checked in via FaceTime yesterday afternoon once you were like settled and unpacked. All right, let's get the show set up. Do it now. Now it's a little bit easier when you wake up at 7 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. for your radio show, being in the central time zone. But you called me up on FaceTime. I was like, all right, yeah, you're going to plug that into this. This is how you power that on. And then all of a sudden it said, you went blurry and then you froze out. And on my end on FaceTime, it said Steven's connection is unstable. And I go, this is just FaceTime on a Sunday afternoon. We've got 20 hours of radio to broadcast on the same Wi-Fi. I was a little panicked last night.
I was extremely panicked. We've got the hotspot here. So hopefully, how's it sounded today? Everything
It's been fine. It's been really good. Yeah, I haven't noticed any issues today.
Want to keep it that way. And, I asked my dad, I said, how's the internet here? He goes, oh, yeah, it's good. It's good. I go, oh, Pops, if did you get the best available? I'm not sure, but so far so good. So we'll continue to knock on wood.
Gary seems like the guy that would get the highest priced, the best possible internet.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The man that would not pay for HBO for many, many years, but so far so good. I'm so grateful to be able to do this when I travel, to be able to come hang out with my family. And, but yeah, man, we can talk more Padres baseball today. I wanted to have some more fun with audio before we go to break, which is in like 5-6 minutes. But we can talk a little bit more. I see the negativity. I see the concern. I see the all of your messages, all of the finality. Everybody thinks they know what we need to do. I'm all ears at this point. I think what it all boils down to, we're all on the same team here. We all want the same result, and that's them winning a World Series and kind of getting over nobody likes when little brother gets little brothered, for sure. It's always fun when little brother punches big brother in the mouth, except in my house, which happens all the time. But yeah, man, until you punch back and until you show that you're in the same caliber, they're just going to own you, man. They're absolutely going to own you, but you can't let it spiral. That's the thing I'm probably most concerned about. The San Francisco Giants are a team that you need to handle. You just handled them. Janine wants to know, how do they fix the slug? I don't know.
It's been the problem all year long.
If I knew that, I would not be here in Texas, man. I would be working with that team to help them hit home runs. I would love to see it. I would love to.
I guess my answer would be, you go out and trade for Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn, except only one of them is getting any sort of consistent playing time.
Yeah, I agree. And I just, when it comes to Manny, and Tatis and those guys not hitting home runs like they have before, it's really tough. It's tough. Those are our guys. Those are our guys that are going to be here for a long time. So, yeah, they're going to have to figure it out on their own. We talked off the show this morning. Victor Rodriguez has an approach that he wants these guys to follow. At one point, you just say, I need to hit a home run here. I need to really, really unload one and try to rip one out of the ballpark, because I promise you, he's not going to be mad at you if you do. I do think it is interesting in that the roster was constructed a certain way years ago, where the 3-run homer was what we all wanted. It never happened. We were all pissed that we weren't, taking advantage of Petco Park and finding the gaps and moving the chain. And now we've kind of built our offense around moving the chain, and it's just not enough. I think maybe you could actually say, record notwithstanding, it's not the best way to win ball games, and especially in the playoffs, which has been proven. A team with no slug or no power in the playoffs, they're just not going to go anywhere. So with 38 games to go, I don't know how you immediately flip the switch to go out and hit more home runs, because I promise you, if Manny could get that pitch off of Trinan back the other day that he normally, last year puts in the stands, he would take it. He would take it. So I think, praying for them to go out and start slugging again, I don't know if that's a viable strategy either.
Yeah, sorry, we're having a little bit of some connection issues now. Of course, we just jinxed ourselves.
Oh, we did. Okay,
yeah, you're
great.
still.
So
I still
now
got you. It's just you're speeding. Your voice is naturally catching up. The Wi-Fi is speeding you up every once in a while. But I think we got most of that. It just kind of threw me for a loop there. Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about it earlier in the show. I was saying it's just such a deflating feeling, and I've noticed it a couple of times now in the last few weeks, even since the All-Star break, since the trade deadline, I should say, where you fight and scratch. You spot a team like the Dodgers 4-0, and then it's 4-1, 4-2, and then you tie it up in the 8th inning, and you're like, all right, here we go. Gotta get this one, gotta have this dub. You wish you could have gotten more when you had, I think, runners in scoring position the entire 8th inning, and you only get a sacrifice fly to tie the game. That sucks. And then when Mookie Betts comes up 2 pitches later and takes the lead in one swing of the bat, and you're like, that's just how it is right now. We are missing that, the game changer, the home run, the big swing. It's just not coming right now for this team. And Woodsy has completely dropped off now, as I see here in the chat. So we're going to he said we wanted to have some fun with some audio. So we actually do have that here right now for you guys. One of the best moments of the year for us on our show came Friday morning last week, as I try to get Woodsy back up here. We wanted to play just a couple of minutes. Last Friday morning at this time, actually, we had our buddy Nathan, our promotions assistant, was in, and he blew everybody away with his voice. This is a scrawny little 20-year-old kid who does not look like his voice matches up with his body. And we had so much fun with this. We wanted to bring back just a couple of minutes of us recapping and just rehashing how great it was to have Nathan in. Ben and Nathan had a little bit of a voice off. You're going to hear that here while we try to get Woodsy back here on 97.3 The Fan. That was funny.
Man, 20 years old. Sounds like that. I mean,
this hour on 97.3 The Fan.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. When you hear it back, processed too through the mics, play it again.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Park 101, multi-level sports bar and restaurant.
It's crazy because it's not a bit, and he's not trying to do it.
I am.
You are, right.
I'm trying hard. That is just easy for him.
Should we do the side-by-side?
Do the side-by-side. Let's hear.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Park 101, multi-level sports bar and restaurant at the Carlsbad Village.
Okay. Pretty good. And then here's what Ben sounded like.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Park 101, multi-level sports bar and restaurant at the Carlsbad Village.
I saw stars. I had stars falling. Oh no, something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. Guys, I'm not well right now. Let me hear Ben again one more time.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Park 101, multi-level sports bar and restaurant at the Carlsbad Village. Park 101 sports bar and restaurant in Carlsbad.
Park 101 sports bar and restaurant in Carlsbad.
Whatever Park 101 is paying us, it is not nearly enough this morning.
Stop. It hurts. So bad. Somebody said in the chat, Ben sounds like Fran Drescher. That was before Bobby played that. God. I have a stitch. Jesus Christ.
Catch the game with your fellow faithful this weekend as we beat LA while sipping 22 ounces of Estrella Jalisco out of a souvenir bag. Park 101, Carlsbad Village, proud sponsor of the Padres Radio Network.
I am crying.
Catch the game with your fellow faithful this weekend as we beat LA while sipping 22 ounces of Estrella Jalisco out of a souvenir bag.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ, Paul. Ow. Oh, I loved it so much.
That was one of those. I mean, my side literally hurt from laughing so hard that morning.
I was in tears, man. And I got to tell you, when we went to the appearance on Saturday, I must have had 20 people go, where's Nathan?
Yes.
Where's Nathan? Where's
Yes.
Nathan? Where's
So-
Nathan? I said, this guy's a star in the making. Man.
His boss in the promotions department, Presley, she was there helping us out with all the giveaways, and she was running the table at Moneyline HQ. And I told her, I go, did you by any chance hear our show today? She goes, no, I didn't get a chance to listen. Why? I was like, we put Nathan on. She goes, like, my Nathan? I'm like, yeah, your promo Nathan.
Your Nathan.
He's a superstar now. She goes, really? I was like, Presley, when you hired him, did you not hear the voice and think, you probably shouldn't be out passing out like t-shirts. We need to get you on the air. Of course she didn't. And I'm like, no, we put out a reel on social media. Like everyone's like, holy crap, this kid is a star in the making. And she was completely unaware. So yeah, I told her, I like, look, anytime you hire a kid that's got pipes like that, they don't need to be out at the fair or handing out Soapy Joe's car wash passes. Like they need to be on the air.
Incredible. Yeah, it was incredible. He's a really, really good kid too. Texted us some really nice things after, and yeah, totally made him into a star. Well, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We got a round of report coming up at 9:30. We'll get out of here. Try to get feeling a little bit better. Can't believe the internet dropped after we just jinxed it.
I mean,
that's fantastic
that's
work.
par
Just
for the
fantastic
course.
work. Really, really, really well done. We will be right back. It's Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Welcome back, Ben and Woods. It's 97.3. The Fan. Good times, bad times right there by Led Zeppelin. If that doesn't encapsulate the last week of the San Diego Padres, I don't know what does. Really, really good times going into that series in L.A. with a little bit of confidence. Set up really nicely. We made such a big deal about, the rested bullpen and all that. Well, that bullpen really only helps you if you get out to a lead. And we have gone the entire day without mentioning the game on Friday night. And that's the one, as tough as yesterday's loss was, as infuriating as the game on Saturday was, the game on Friday had my head spinning. It really did. And I know it can go both ways. I got in some really deep philosophical discussions on the bunt by Freddie Fermin late in the game to, play for a tie, essentially. And I don't know. I really didn't like the bunt there at all. But listen, Clayton Kershaw, people were tweeting at me, we can't even hit, 45-year-old Clayton Kershaw. And I said, well, if it makes you feel any better, nobody else has hit him this year either. He's having a really fantastic
7-2 with a 3 ERA. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
He's getting it done, man. He really, really is. And the guy, what freaked me out, I think it was like the first pitch of the game. It was like an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, and thought he missed it. And I'm like, all right, well, it's going to be one of those nights, to be sure. And I know it goes both ways. I know you can argue. I hate the time machine. I hate it. I really, really hate going in the time machine and after the fact going, well, obviously you shouldn't have gone to that guy there. I hate it. I just think it's pointless. It's fruitless. It doesn't work. If you could manage games that way, you'd never lose a ball game, obviously. But I just think with that one, I looked at that and I went, I just don't understand Schulte. I really didn't. And I think, we lead the majors in sacrifice bunts by 6 or 7, I think, at this point. Which is, I have not railed against the bunt much this year as I have in previous years. And the reason I didn't early in the season, Paulie, was because we didn't have the personnel. Right? We didn't have the personnel, in my opinion, to get the job done. So I was more than okay with getting guys over, trying to get them in with the personnel we have. Well, now we have the personnel.
That was the whole trade deadline. We went out and addressed the weaknesses, all of them.
Correct. And I'll tell you, man, a lot of people said, well, if Freddie Fermin, ground hits into a double play, you're furious that they didn't play for the tie. And I'm going to take my chances there. I really am. Against the lefty in a bad bullpen, playing for a tie with Fermin, Tatis, Arise. So when you get Fermin to hand over an out, a free out, right? Here's one. I think you need 6 more to win the game. Here's a free one. So now you only need 5. And then you got Tatis coming up with a base open. You don't have to give him anything to hit, and he didn't. And Tatis walked. Well, then Luis Arise comes up against the lefty, bases loaded. At worst, Arise is going to hit a single. I mean, if you're the pitcher, you're like, I can actually settle in. Yes, I can throw it 96 outer half, and he may spoil it, but I can also throw one at his eyes and get him out. Now, he ended up getting a sac fly, which was okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get a pat on the butt, right? Like, hey, great job driving in that run. But no, you needed damage in that inning. That's what you needed, in my opinion. I think I'm going to let Fermin swing away there as well as he's played, to that point. So that's honestly that was the play of the weekend for me, where I just went, man, what a head scratcher. What a total head scratcher it was. And I didn't really understand it, but I don't get paid to make those decisions. I think it's very predictable from the San Diego Padres now. And I think, again, to reiterate the fact, I was fine with it in April, May, June, because we didn't have the right personnel. I think we do have the right personnel now that could lead to some bigger innings. And I think, they were putting on some offensive displays against San Francisco. So I don't know. That's the one that I just don't get this. It's very predictable, very safe. Look, if it's game 7 of the playoffs, maybe I feel a little bit different, but I just thought with those guys coming up. But, the counterpoint to that, Paulie, is the leadoff hitter, the 2-hole and the 3-hole needs to be somebody that strikes fear into the opposing pitcher, and they're just not that right now. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, if the stars aren't starring, I mean, that takes away a huge part of the occasion of the conversation. If you're thinking as a pitcher going against this Padres lineup, you're like, not too worried about Tatis, pitch around him a little bit. Arise is going to take at least one strike. Manny has been really, really bad in all of August. Yeah. It's been weeks now, and that's just not. Yep. I mean, what did Dennis say? Like, he's on like the worst stretch since the trade in 2018 that sent him from Baltimore to the Dodgers. I mean, that's a long time ago now. That's 7 years ago. It's been a long, long time.
If you're a pitcher, if you're a reliever, and Arise comes up with the bases loaded, it's weird because you would think that the reliever would go, oh, man, here we go. I don't know where I can put it. But he's not going to do any damage. And I mean real damage. Like sac fly, great double play candidate as well. Like he's going to make contact. I just don't think you're going to see a lot of damage from him at that point. So you're actually get a little bit of a sigh of relief. They go to Trinan. They go to Trinan, and he throws one pitch. Manny misses it, and it's over. It's over at that point. And I looked at that and went, man, I don't think I would have done that in that situation. I'm going to let Freddie swing it.
And it's always on a ball outside of the zone. And criticize Luis Arise all you want. Like that guy's he's got a good eye. You're not a 3-time batting champ without being a magician with a bat and knowing the strike zone. And then it just seems like this year in particular, more than last year, he is swinging at so many, like he's watching the cookie go right down the middle. Look, if that's his strategy, if that's what's going to work for him, I don't like it, but I can live with it. But exactly. And then it's got to work. And if the next pitch is 6 inches off the plate, and that's the one that you flip to the left fielder for an easy fly ball, it's like, man, this is really tough to watch.
It's like Satan's Blowfish says in the chat, grounder to second or fly ball to left field, not much else. I agree 100%. And that's why in that instance, I think bunting there lets Dave Roberts and the LA Dodgers off the hook. And I don't like playing it. I don't like playing that brand of baseball. I really don't. This team was really, they were exerting their will. And they stopped when they got to LA, and they just played, I think, in my opinion, a little bit tight. So hopefully they can get a little bit more loose, go get Robbie Ray like you did last time, and, bury the San Francisco Giants once and for all and get back in the win column. I think this entire fan base and certainly this radio show needs it. We will be back with the Reindl Report next. Stay right here. It's 97.3 The Fan. Yep, but first wanted to tell you, Benny's not here to tell you about it, but I will. Trust and Will, man. Trustandwill.com is the place to go if you have put it off. If you're driving around right now going, God, Woodsy, I got 2 kids and have not gotten my Trust or Will set up, I implore you, go to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out, FAN. They'll give you 20% off, and they will ship you your documents. You get them notarized, and then you throw it in the desk. You forget about it, as I always say, because it's done. It's a legal binding document. And the beauty is it only takes 25, 30 minutes to do. And the peace of mind that it gets is immeasurable. It's so nice knowing that it's all done. Obviously it's crazy times these days. Never know what can happen. Make sure that your family are protected. Make sure to get that trust. Keep your family out of probate court. Nobody wants to go suffer through expensive, lengthy legal processes after you've already gone. So handle that today. Go to trustandwill.com. Use code FAN when you check out, FAN, and you'll get 20% off. It's trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Final segment of Ben and Woods this morning. Mercifully, my throat is starting to close up, Paulie. I don't know how you're feeling. I think you're not feeling well either. It's great. It's great.
It's been really fun.
It's been really fun, and maybe the excitement of winning a series would have made me feel better, but I feel worse. I feel worse right now.
I've kind of gotten better as the morning's gone on, and I just made some hot tea. That's sort of helped.
Well, I'm supposed to be here taking care of my dad and being a bright spot for him.
You need him to take care of you.
I feel like after the show, I'm going to end up going back and crawling into bed. Now, it's about 97 degrees here in Texas, and they're mowing the lawn out front. I'm sure you can hear. There's a guy in their bathroom with a compressor working on some stuff, too. So real, very peaceful environment here. They do have a pool. So I may go out and sit in the pool, swim a few laps, try to get a little exercise, and try to feel better, be ready tomorrow. And, I'm going to have to stay up till midnight to watch this game tonight. So I got to get it all figured out. But we do have a Rondo report coming up for you. Paulie's got some good stuff. And finally, a dub for the San Diego Padres. And it's a big one, right, Paulie?
Oh, yeah. Big one.
Yeah.
Tell you all about it
here. Take it away whenever you're ready.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Wrapping things up with a couple of problems out in our East County. Collision on Los Coaches on-ramp to westbound 8. Also, eastbound 8 before Johnson Avenue. Tow truck is helping to clear a stalled vehicle. Southbound 5 right before the 805 split. There is a collision. Everything is over to the right shoulder. Before you hit the beach, the mountains, or even the 5 this Labor Day weekend, be road trip ready with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Stay in your car while they change your oil and check your tires, battery, and fluids. Coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right. 2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right. Happy Monday, Woodsy.
That's one way to put it.
Monday,
Woodsy. Yes.
Monday, Woodsy.
I'm ready. I'm positive. I'm staying positive.
All right, let's talk, the dub for the Padres, like you mentioned here, heading into the segment. Baseball's best broadcast booth rankings, that's a tongue twister right there, has come out from Awful Announcing.
Baseball's best broadcast rankings. Baseball's best
broadcast booth rankings.
Yes. rankings.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's a mouthful. What we can do is we can actually just start. We'll just go quickly from the bottom here. We'll start at number 12 randomly. I don't know why.
Okay,
it's the Los
number
Angeles
12.
Dodgers, number 12.
Yeah.
Joe
Davis.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers come in at number 12.
Yes. Number 11 is the Boston Red Sox booth, followed by the Angels at number 10. Like we said last week, the Angels do run LA. The Brewers were at number 9. The Tigers with Jason Benetti, Andy Dirks, they were number 8. Number 7 went to the Baltimore Orioles booth, a very good one as well with Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald.
Yeah.
Number 6 was the Philadelphia Phillies, Tom McCarthy, John Kruk. And then we get into the top 5. If you have any feedback here, now is the chance. We'll start at number 5 with the Chicago Cubs. Awful Announcing gave them a 3.01 rating. John Shambi, Jim DeShays, Alex Cohen on play-by-play. Rick Sutcliffe, Doug Glanville's part of that. Ryan Dempster's on the broadcast. They do a really good job there on the Marquee Sports Network in Chicago.
That fantastic booth. Now, the next one surprised me a little bit, and it's only because of half of it. One half of it is spectacular. The other one is unbelievably an odd listen. And I'm, of course, talking about the Toronto Blue Jays with Dan Shulman, who I love. He is spectacular in the booth. Buck Martinez, holy smokes.
He's a tough listen. He's a tough,
great guy. Great guy, but a very, very tough listen. He's got the weirdest intonation I have ever heard.
Well, I didn't even know this. It also says Ben Shulman is part of the broadcast as well at times. Is that Dan's son? I don't know.
I would imagine very much so that
maybe it's just a coincidence. Same last name.
Could be, but I doubt it.
I doubt it as well. All right, number 3. These guys are top 3 pretty much every single year. It's just a matter of where are they going to be in the top 3. Talking about somebody that'll be down at Petco Park tonight. It's not Don and Mud, though. We're talking about the Giants broadcast booth with Kruk and Kipe and Dave Fleming, John Miller doing the radio broadcast. They bring in guys like Sean Estes and Hunter Pence at times to be analysts. God, I'm just throwing all of my words up today. And they received an A grade as well. They graded out a 3.20 on Awful Announcing's scale.
You sound like Ben on a Friday right now.
I do. I really do.
Get it together. I know everybody loves these guys. I've never particularly loved listening to Kipe and Kruko myself. A little bit paint drying to me, but they are beloved where they broadcast. So I'll tip my cap to them. The next booth, though,
John
really
Miller and
one.
Dave Fleming are really good.
Oh yeah, elite.
They're
elite.
fantastic.
But the number 2 booth goes to the New York Mets. Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling. I think they're fantastic. They really let it eat on that broadcast. They are not afraid to kind of toe the line sometimes. I think they're really, really good at what they do. But of course, it brings us to the number 1 best booth in baseball, the San Diego Padres. Hang the banner, everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Play on the parade.
Don Orsillo.
The score of 3.47. 3.47 was their average score. Compared to the Mets in number 2, they were 3.32. And it just says here, we have a new top booth, and a significant part of its success was due to the spectacular 1,047 A grade votes that they received out of 1,500. They only received 34 Fs, which was the lowest of any booth in this poll. Kind of think that's interesting that anybody thought they're like an F, just like an F. Really? That shocked me.
Oh, I see it all the time. I see people, even Padres fans, are like, hate these guys. I don't get it myself. I think they're fantastic. I love the back and forth banter. I love the unhinged humor that they mention in there. You know, we do forget sometimes baseball, reporting on baseball, doing a morning show about baseball. It is supposed to be fun. And I know that days like this, you're not supposed to have fun. And but they make it great every single time, worth tuning in. I texted both of them this morning. I have not heard back. Don does have his text notification silenced. I did forget it's still very early back in San Diego at 9:45 a.m. He's a late riser. So hopefully I hear back from those guys, but I wanted to wish them congratulations. We'll do it on the airwaves. Maybe we can even get Don on at some point to revel in the number one booth.
That would be fun.
I think they absolutely are. So what else you got, Paulie?
All right, what else? We'll stick in Major League Baseball. Now, this is a story I imagine we're actually going to spend some more time in depth on it tomorrow. But a lot of people in baseball are talking about some comments made by Rob Manfred. He was in the booth yesterday for the Little League showcase, whatever they call it, between the Mets and the Mariners in Williamsport. And he was talking about not just expansion eventually in Major League Baseball, but also division realignment and do things a little bit more regionally. And of course, everyone's throwing out their thoughts on what the divisions would or should look like if this ever happens. I wanted to play the audio, give you a couple of minutes to just discuss it here, and then maybe tomorrow we can get Ben's opinion on it. But here's what Rob Manfred had to say yesterday.
He loves this stuff.
This is like meant for Ben, which is why I wanted to just throw it out there today. We address it, but I want to revisit it tomorrow. Here's what Rob Manfred said yesterday on the broadcast.
In my mind, I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically realign. I think we could save a lot of wear and tear on our players in terms of travel. And I think our postseason format would be even more appealing for, entities like ESPN, because you'd be playing up out of the East, out of the West, in that 10 o'clock time slot where we, sometimes get Boston, Anaheim, would be two West Coast teams. And that 10 o'clock slot that's a problem for us sometimes becomes a real opportunity for our West Coast audience. So I think, I think the owners realize that there's demand for Major League Baseball in a lot of great cities, and we have an opportunity to do something good around that expansion process.
Wow, that was hard
What's
to
happening
listen
in
to.
the
Jesus
background?
God.
Was that Diplo in the background?
It was like it was like something going on in the field. I'm like, guys, you gotta adjust the field mics here, because holy crap, you're completely drowning out the commissioner. But I think you got the gist of what he was trying to say there, Woodsy.
Yeah, I'll say this. I am immediately back on my haunches when I hear Rob Manfred talk about the health of the players. I really am. It's a sad way to live, but I don't really believe much. In my mind, I'm sitting here going, how does this benefit him and the owners? That's all I'm thinking about, because, the wear and tear on the players and the travel. And I'm like, dude, you're sending teams to Japan, to Korea, which is cool and all that. But how is this benefiting Rob Manfred is the first thing I think about. And I'm sure the players would sign up for realignment. I am, because, if that was a consequence of it is limiting some travel. We're out here on the West Coast. Our guys go through it. There's no question. But my immediate reaction is, how does this benefit you and your owner group, Rob? And until I'm proven otherwise, that's what I will think about Rob Manfred and the commissioner. But Ben, you couldn't stop him earlier. We happened to bring it up. He was like, here's what I do. And so you'll get Ben's thesis on it tomorrow. I don't really care at all. I just want to win a World Series. I really don't care who we play or when.
Ben's like, he's got thoughts on if they do 4-team divisions, 5-team divisions, what the regions would look like. He's got it all locked down. So yeah, we can address that tomorrow, maybe in the first half of the show. All right, real quick here. This hour 97.3 is brought to you by U.S. Wellness Meats. U.S. Wellness Meats offers 100% grass-fed beef, pork, poultry, wild-caught seafood, and more, shipped free from family farms. Get 20% off your first order at uswellnessmeats.com. And Woodsy, we will wrap it up here. It was the story of the week last week in sports media was Taylor Swift's podcast debut on the New Heights podcast. And some of the stats that came out of that were pretty unbelievable. I think she broke YouTube at one point in the stream. They had 1.3 million live viewers at one point.
I can't even imagine.
We get between 500 and 1,000. I can't even wrap my head around looking at the little number of people watching currently. Now, this was a pre-taped show, obviously, but they're watching in real time. And for that to go over 1 million is insane. It got over 15 million views total on YouTube.
They didn't go live? They did pre-tape?
I am almost positive. I guess I don't know for sure, but I'm almost positive it was like a pre-recorded video from a week ago, and then you premiere it live on YouTube, but it's not. They were not there live. I could be wrong.
Live, yeah. I can remember a couple of days logging into the stream, trade deadline or whatever, and going, oh God, all right, there's 1,200 people, and panicking, going, all right, don't mess this up. The weight and the gravity of 1 million plus people logging in is too much. I saw a couple of clips.
Dude, 379 over 380 million views on Instagram alone. They broadcast their show on Instagram, over 60 million views on X, the most concurrent podcast listeners ever, which is crazy.
That's bananas, man.
And that leads me into this. Now, I was kind of telling you guys last week, explaining at least to Ben, because he was like, I don't understand. Like, what's the big deal? I go, look, everything Taylor Swift does is extremely calculated, and it can last, like, she'll drop little Easter eggs, little nuggets over the course of like multiple years to make up an announcement for a new album or a new tour or whatever. So the internet, the sleuths online, the Swifties, have decided that they think Taylor Swift is going to play the Super Bowl halftime show next February in San Francisco. Did you see any of this, Woodsy?
No, that would make a lot of sense to me, though.
All right, well, listen to this logic here, because knowing how smart she is about all of those little Easter eggs, she talked for several minutes on the podcast, I guess, about sourdough bread, which is very random. Like, sourdough bread.
San Francisco known for their sourdough bread.
Well, San Francisco 49ers. Do you know who their mascot is, Woodsy?
No.
It's Sourdough Sam.
Okay, Sourdough Sam. Makes sense.
Taylor Swift said that she thinks about sourdough about 60% of the time. Do you know what Super Bowl number it is upcoming in 2026 in San Francisco? It's Super Bowl 60, Woodsy.
Man, she's good. By the way, Ben and Woods, we have a great new bit coming out in 2028. That is all I'm going to say.
Did you guys not catch the Easter eggs?
2028 is my hint for you guys. 28. Remember it. Write it down. But yeah, great new bit coming in 2020. It's
going to be a big one.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. I think she absolutely should play the Super Bowl. I think she would crush it at the Super Bowl.
There was one more nugget. She at the very beginning of the podcast, she thanked Jason Kelsey. She was there with Travis on their end, and then Jason was recording his end, and she said, "Thank you for screaming for like 47 seconds for me." Well, the 47th stop on the Eras tour a couple of years ago was, you guessed it, Levi Stadium.
San Francisco. Look at her, just dropping the little note. She's like a real life Willy Wonka. We are done for the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully everybody's feeling better, back at full strength on the program, and obviously, hopefully we're talking about a dub. Go out and beat Robbie Ray today. But thank you guys for tuning in, hanging with us, all of our different locales and areas. We really appreciate you. Braden is up next. Have a great rest of your Monday.
Talk to you all tomorrow.
Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan.